Clobbering time! Clobberanimo!
Hey, welcome, my dear friends, for Saturday Night Star Trek number 89. Whee! Indeed, it is a wee. Hello, my good friends and buddies. Welcome. It's great to see you all here tonight. It is, of course, Clobbering Times, issue number 438 overall, but of course, 1,138 overall. It was 438 on YouTube. I got it backwards because I am very backwards tonight, apparently. But good to see you all, my friends. I'm just so happy to have you here tonight. And let's see here. Oh, yeah. You can't have this show without the greatest, most wonderful first officer in the fleet. So let's all say hello to the magnificent Commander R.M. Briggs. Hello there, my friend.
I love you. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm looking forward to talking about these episodes tonight and seeing everyone. Hail to the chat. Hi, everyone. You have been missed.
It is great to see you all here with us tonight. Looking forward to having a fantastic time. We've got 4 tonight, and then next week we'll end the season. I had the wrong damn thumbnail because I got ahead of myself, and I was trying to have that ready so I could show it for the next week. And I don't know how that happened, but no, it's not. Tonight's not the finale. That's next week. We have 4 episodes tonight, just to clear that up. So anyway, just in case any of you saw that old thumbnail and had wondered. But before we start off, before we get started, and before we start with our hellos, a couple of quick show notes, because I know the great J-Man is here, and he, I think J-Man might still be here. Monday night. Monday, I have 2 shows. I have a special 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, Clobby's Classic Comics Review. The great J-Man and I will be reviewing DC Comics Presents number 29. To start off, Halloween. My Halloween theme for reviewing comics will be superheroes and Halloween, superheroes and monsters. So it'll be
Yay!
not just monsters, not just superheroes. It'll be a combination, or superheroes and the supernatural. That's what I guess I'll call it that. Since
Are
I
there
can't think
any
of anything better.
comics about Ireland?
About Ireland?
Hmm.
Sure, I guess there are of them now that you mention it. I suppose I'd have to dig a little deep and look into it, but I do believe that there are. Yes.
Well, that would be a fabulous way to celebrate the birthplace of Halloween. And I
Oh,
don't speak my own
I don't know if there are
language.
any comics to do that though, but
I don't speak my own language, but it's Samhain. I think that's how you pronounce it in Irish, Gaelic. But yeah, that would be. I would be totally
well,
into
Hunger
that.
Boy said he'll DM you on that. So, but anyway, and of course, after the review with the great J Man, a few hours later, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time at the usual time, same Clobby time, same Clobby channel. Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. Not sure exactly what we'll talk about then. Oh, and I think our good buddy, the great engineer Mark D with the scene, he's on an away mission, so we may or may not see him later tonight. But he probably won't have any reviews. But he will have, as far as I know, the Sunday Night Geekery tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We think, I mean, tentatively speaking, I believe he will have it. So if anything happens, he'll let us all know on that. So we hope he is out there having fun and being safe.
Yes.
Well,
Look at this chat lighting up with all of these
get some great friends
Irish
here.
ideas.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. All of you should keep all of those ideas flowing, because what a great way to celebrate the month, this whole season of Halloween, by featuring these things.
Yeah.
Teach me. I'm looking forward to it. And certainly, Clobby is always open for, topic suggestions. And I love seeing you all at the clubhouse teaching me about comics. It would be so much fun if we could do that.
Oh yeah, Black Tom, Banshee. There were definitely a lot of Irish superheroes, some Irish X-Men he's talking about right there. Well, X-Men and other characters from X-Men. So yeah, there well, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's just
the people who invented Halloween should be celebrated in the month of Halloween.
Look, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not a Halloween guy.
Oh,
I'm not. I don't. It's not my Christmas like it is for some people. I don't hate it. I don't do anything on Halloween night. I never cosplay. I guess I could say I eat candy, but then that's every month. So So I never do anything about Halloween, and not even really on the show. So I thought, for once, I'll just the farthest I'm probably going to go is just do some comics that have monsters in them.
But that's so exciting for everyone. Ones. Everyone loves that you're doing that. That's terrific. Thank you for doing that.
It's just off the cuff. It's just But I got my Halloween Ends tickets. What are Halloween Ends tickets?
I think he'll tell you.
What? Elaborate, Man of J.
Eric, what did you make for dinner? I would like to know, please. Also, I'm sending millions of kisses for your face, and also sending millions of kisses to Chris Persia's face. I saw you say, hi, Raquel. Hi back, sweetheart. I love you. Thank you for the ad today on the socials. It's gorgeous.
Indeedishness. So let's start with our hellos, and then we'll get down to beeswax. How about that?
Let's do it.
Let's see here. Of course, Lord Thoth popped in for a minute there before the Halloween Ends. That's that Michael Myers Halloween.
Too scary for me.
Too scary for at least for Raquel. She doesn't like that sort of thing. And too Halloween for me. I don't even like any of those. I don't like horror movies, and I don't really. I saw the first Halloween film by John Carpenter. Thought it was an okay movie, but I can't stand dead teenager movies. Teenager body count movies don't do it for me.
That is a wonderful way of describing it, and I don't like it either.
Not my bag. Where are we at? Oh, so Mark D with the C. Like I say, we acknowledge him even if he can't be here because he is of course our chief engineer. I think Jill said she would be here at some point. She made a request, so we'll see if she shows up. But Lord Thoth, our great friend, again could not be here, but we're shouting him out because he did stop by and say hello earlier. And so,
Mhm.
Lord Thoth and Lady Thoth, great. I hope you're having. I know you're going through some stuff like that and taking care of all kind of different things, but I hope you're getting through that and having a great night. And we appreciate you and we miss you and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, that's from all of us. That's from all of us,
Absolutely.
Lord Thoth and Lady Thoth. We're all thinking of you and sending you our love and support.
Indeedishness, indeedishness. And Michael Beacom also said he said he cannot be here tonight, having some computer issues, but he may or may not be. I think he might
No,
be out there listening on the phone. If that is the
poor guy.
case, hail to you, Michael, and your wonderful wife Cassandra. Hope you're
Yeah,
having a great night. So even if you can't participate, if you pop in, well, this is a shout out to you, my friend.
you'll be missed.
Indeed, indeed. The great bronze wrencher Eric K.
Yay!
Good to see you there, buddy. Thank you. Always so great to have you here, my friend. And the other fantastic wrencher, the Vindicator wrencher himself, Chris Persia. Good to see you. And of course, yes, you are now. You're since he, of course, you are a Canadian superhero. We'll
Yes.
make you get to be Vindicator because I know he likes Vindicator. Shooter 8323 also said he's working, could not be here, but was
Aw.
nice enough to say hello. So, in the event that you hear this, and even if you don't, though, hello, Shooter. Shout out to you, my friend.
Pew, pew, pew.
Indeed, pew pew, indeed.
You know who
Um,
is working? Who is working, but has still tuned in anyway. So I got to give him a shout out before he leaves, even though you're going to shout him out, and welcome him. But before you leave, Mr. Tickle Trunk, I just want to say hello to you. Thank you so much for supporting Clobby and I, and just I know that this is a weird time for you now, and you can't get here to participate in the live chat. So I just want you to know how special that is for me. I know that you made an effort to get in here to say hello to us, and I love you very much, and it's good to see you.
Well, hello, Mr. Tickle Trunk. I definitely had you written down the shout out. So I hope you have a great night, man. Thank you so much for being here. Brian Hepburn, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. The Catman, aka Dee Dee Myers, will help you and your wonderful wife are doing well, my friend. Good to see
Hi,
you.
Dee Dee. Hello, Mrs. Myers.
They're not an axe Amanda Bear, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. I can't see his ass. It's just inopportune time. His name isn't in front of my screen. His new one every time. Hungry for, you guessed it, more Kira episodes, aka the great Hungry Boy, the official artist of CLOBBERIN Times. Good to see you, brother.
Yep, and I bet you he enjoyed those cat suits.
I hope so. I don't know what that means, but I hope so. Fanty Outsider, what's up, dude?
Hi.
Steve mentioned Maddie's daddy's here. I think he's driving and listening, lurking. Hey, brother.
Hi.
Good to see you, buddy. Captain Finity and beyond.
Ooh.
Good to see you, brother.
Formerly Captain Cockney Spock, a dear friend to many of us. It's great to see you.
Good to see you, sir. JT Kirk is here. All righty.
JT Kirk. Last week I was just gonna go and get what Eric sent me, but last week you asked me if I would do the Clon Pigs. I did them for you. They're up, but because I was worried that people wouldn't remember Clon Pigs, I just put Waddy Sticks. So if you'd like to call for the word that shall not be mentioned, there are now Waddy Sticks, and they're called Waddy Sticks instead of Clon Pigs. There's your emoji. You made a request fulfilled. I love you, and I got that done right away. So enjoy.
And before we continue with friends in the chat, big shout out to everyone who is lurking. We love our lurkers. Anyone who hangs out but can't really, or for whatever reason, maybe you just don't like, getting involved in chats. Maybe you just listen, treating it like a podcast or whatever, as Raquel likes to say, on the road or whatever it is, or watching on a repeat or a download or a rewatch or whatever you want to call it. We really, really appreciate you. We don't say it enough, and we should. Love you, and we thank you so much for your views, and we really appreciate it, and we hope you will continue to enjoy what we do because it makes us feel good that you are out there. And shout outs to our buddy Eric O'Sullivan, and of course And also with us here tonight is the great enigmatic drop bear, buddy.
Enigmatic drop bear, the erudite bear.
Indeed. You get your name sung here. Well, if you're lucky. Wolfface here. Another friend who doesn't get to participate but lurks and is a valued and longtime lurker here, of course, and a good friend, Terrell72. It's good to see you, my friend.
Tyrell, it is so good to see you, sweetheart. I love you very much. Thank you for the heart and the LLAP that you sent earlier. Please work safely. I'm so happy that you're here to join us, and I will see you at the end of the show. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun tonight. Don't work too hard, hey?
JD Lewis.
JD!
There you go. Good to see you there, my friend. Always, I hope you were doing well. Classic Comments. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Indeed. Pleasant Valley Picker. Hey. Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Yay!
Again, already had you there. Hello again. Wendy and Jimmy. Trauma Warriors. Hello there, my dears. Great
nice to see you.
Hope you're all having a wonderful night. And if anyone else pops in, we'll definitely acknowledge them. And that's about everybody. But I want to thank the great JT Kirk for this very kind, very generous super chat of $10.
I love you.
Thank you, buddy. He says, thank you for the clon pegs. Waddy waddy aloe meringue. So I guess we know what he wants.
Yes.
It's only fair. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Ask and ye shall receive. I love you, JT Kirk.
Absolutely. Well, anyone else pops in, we'll definitely get them shouted out. Appreciate it. Sorry, Hunger Boy, but we aim to please, but we know we can't please everyone. we wish we could. We wish we could. So let's see here. Thank you all for being here tonight. Here's what we do for anyone who may be listening for the first time. If you're a Star Trek fan, this is basically the way it works here on Saturday Night Star Trek. Is we have been reviewing all of Real Star Trek. We've made the commitment to review all 735 segments of Real Trek. That means, of course, 1966 through 2005. The only Real Trek that there is. Everything else is anything after 2005 is AirSat's filth. It is not legitimate Star Trek. So we have reviewed, beginning at the outset of 2000, in January of 2021, we started by reviewing the original series. After that, we reviewed the animated series, then the original crew films, then Star Trek The Next Generation. Hello there, Claude Salang. Hey there.
Hey, Claude.
And then after that, after Next Generation and the Next Generation films, we have now started Deep Space Nine. And we are getting fairly close to the end of season 2. And tonight we will have 4 more episodes of the aforementioned season 2 to review. What we do is, our dear friend and First Officer RAQUEL will read a little bit from, I don't know if she's going to use this book tonight, but we'll show it anyway. We sourced this and other sources, put it like that, for the episode in question. And then we talk a little bit about it, and we give our views and thoughts on it. Then we give a little rating, and then we consult our fantastic chat and get your views, any rating you may have, and any words you may have about the episode.
And I highly recommend that book because there's a lot of false stuff about Star Trek in the Star Trek community. So things that are totally not true that have become factoids. People are absolutely certain that they're true because of how many times they've been passed around or put in print, and they're not true at all. And the thing is that Paula M. Block I trust her to research things and make sure things are true. And she uses original source material. So that book is incredibly expensive. It's difficult to find. But if you want to know the real behind the scenes production stuff that went on with DS9, that is your book. It's not quite as concise as Star Trek 365, where Paula M. Block is the primary author. So I'm suggesting it for reading rather than for using
But it's
it on
still
the
an
show.
interesting book from what we.
It is, and you can trust the information in it. You know, Michael
go.
Beacom is
Okay.
always pulling facts out of there, and
Yes.
that matters more to me. That in-text citation and that vetted material, that means far more to me than the trivia that people swirl around these episodes, because most of the time it's complete and utter shite. It's not true. So it helps to get the truth out there and to make sure we are actually informed, not just throwing around rumors.
So, are we ready for our first episode of the evening?
We are.
All right. Well, that episode will be, the Maquis Part
Pooh.
2. Because yes, we had a cliffhanger. Isn't that exciting, folks?
Yep.
We cliffhangered you. So tonight we will begin by reviewing the Maquis Part 2. So. I will now turn the con over to my wonderful first officer, and she will give us some info on the episode. So let's go, my friends, and your hymnals.
Yes, this is the Maquis Part Pooh. This is season 2. This is episode 21. And this is an international show, and it has come to my attention that this international streaming services bust these episodes up and give them different numbers. So if you're confused, please refer to the prod code 441. This is this was broadcast for the very first time on May 2nd, 1994. And I'm going to be reading from user-generated site Wikipedia, but I will not be using it as a source for information. I will just be using it as a free and open public source for summary. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously, which means I may make mistakes. It's a cold read, never read it before. Let's do it. Do it! So here we are, the Maquis Part Pooh. Cisco demands to see Ducat. Hudson accuses Cisco of siding with the Cardassians over him. Hudson claims the Maquis want only peace, while Cisco characterizes their desire to retaliate simply as revenge. After Cisco declines an offer to join, Hudson and the Maquis stun the group and depart. Admiral Nechayev is waiting for Cisco when he returns to Deep Space Nine. She refers to the Maquis as a bunch of irresponsible hotheads and instructs Cisco to reason with them, seemingly unaware of the true nature of the situation. Legate Parn of the Cardassian Central Command then arrives, and as Cisco prepares to meet him, Odo reports that he has caught one of the Vulcan accomplices. Cisco arrives to find Quark in a holding cell. Quark eventually reveals that he arranged for Sarcona, that would be that Vulcan, to acquire weapons, unaware of the Maquis at the time, and believes Sarcona is planning an attack within a few days. Parn then admits that weapons have been smuggled into the demilitarized zone, informing Cisco and Kira that the Cardassian Central Command blames Ducat, claiming he is acting as a renegade, though Cisco and Kira consider it clear they are merely setting him up as a scapegoat. At the Maquis base, Sarcona attempts to establish a Vulcan mind meld with Ducat, which he easily resists. Cisco, Bashir, and Odo arrive and interrupt the interrogation and try to resolve the situation peacefully. But Ducat grows impatient, triggering a firefight. The Maquis are captured, but Cisco lets one of their leaders go to deliver a message to Hudson, imploring him to settle things peacefully. They bring Ducat back to Deep Space Nine, where they inform him of Parn's accusations. With Ducat's help, they catch a Zeppelite traitor transporting weapons on behalf of Central Command. Quark talks Sarcona into revealing to Cisco that the Maquis are planning to blow up a Cardassian weapons depot in the next 52 hours, but she doesn't know where it is. Ducat promises to find out the depot's location, and in the meantime, Cisco visits Hudson one final time, imploring him to reconsider abandoning his career. Hudson resolutely declines, vaporizing his Starfleet uniform with a phaser. The DS9 crew is waiting in a runabout when the Maquis arrive at the depot, and as neither Hudson nor Cisco want to hurt the other, they attempt to disable one another. Finally, only Cisco's runabout and Hudson's raider remain, with Cisco's engines and Hudson's weapons inoperable. Over Ducat's objections, Sisko allows Hudson to escape. Ultimately, Sisko wonders if he has prevented a war or merely delayed the inevitable. And that is all the collective brains of the internet have to say about the summary of the Maquis Part Pooh.
Raymond Feliciano, what's up, buddy? That is the King, the Dolphin TV.
King Dolphin TV.
It's color, everyone. Of course, hello to Raymond, and please put your channel in there, Raymond. Let everyone go. Please subscribe if you have not already to our good buddy Raymond's channel. Okay, well, where were we? The Maquis Part 2. I don't have a whole hell of a lot to say about it. I don't really care for the whole concept of, well, put it like this. I don't like it because it conflicts me too much in a way that I don't really need to be conflicted about Star Trek. I don't think it really belongs in Star Trek. We talked a bit about this last week. I don't like that you have to twist Star Trek into little piece into a pretzel and make us believe that a Vulcan would be a terrorist with a freedom fighting group. I just don't. I mean, there's the thing. You're not even just asking to believe humans doing this. Humans of Roddenberry enlightened humans of the 24th century. You're asking us to believe that Vulcans will do it too. I don't think this was a wise idea doing this sort of thing. I really love Barney Casey. As compelling drama goes, it's, both episodes I think are fine in something else. I just don't think they should be in Star Trek. And so just kind of I'm not big on it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
So let's make King Dolphin TV is on fire. Literally? Dude, it's literally on fire? Well, you better put that out. You have a fire extinguisher? Yeah, man. Or if his TV is on fire, I'm just saying. So, well, you did say literally. I have to pick on him. I haven't seen Raymond. Had to pick on him a little bit there. But anyway, so yeah, it's just like I say. It's not. I mean, these are really good actors, and this kind of story I have a kind of problem with, and in something else, some other shows, I just don't really think it's a fit for Star Trek, and never did. But
yeah,
it's there.
I think it's helped the filth people distort the vision of Vulcanians. And yeah, I don't like that either. And I don't like the Maquis. The entire concept of the Maquis is crap.
Oh, okay. So on tonight's Just Cause, something caught on fire. Oh, wow, dude. Well, hope everyone's okay. All right. Well, I hear you, Raymond. I was just, well, so there you go. Notes.
Yeah, sure. If you're new around here, I take notes because I rewatch Star Trek in chronological order, 66 to 2005, every year starting on January 1st. So I thought, what could I add? And I just add my notes. I take out a piece of paper and a pencil and I take notes while I watch the episodes. And these are those notes. Cal is an absolute disgrace and has no morals. He talks about the fact that he would like to murder every single person, a Cardassian, for every single person who has died. And so I just put in my notes, an eye for an eye blinds everyone. And then I said, Kira's comm badge is upside down and right side up during this episode. It's quite fun to watch. I was that distracted. The dialogue is used to help the viewer develop a sense of disgust with the Cardassian culture and laws. Moreover, to reveal Gul Dukat is an outlier in a culture of relentless secrecy. So they're setting up this sort of, you can be on the in and you can be on the out with this highly secretive society. This is a great drama and this is great storytelling, but it's not Star Trek. Cal Hudson, once again, he's a disgrace. He has assaulted and killed multiple people. So it is preposterous to me that Sisko would give him the kid gloves and also leave Nechayev in the dark about just how set these people are in becoming a terrorist organization. And Cal comes right out and says that he wants to murder a Cardassian for every single colonist who's been murdered. So, I mean, this is pretty serious. And the way that I think Sisko handles it is preposterous. It doesn't go along with who he is as a person. I think of him kind of like I think of, and don't get me wrong here, because I'm not comparing him and saying that he is just as good, but I'm just saying there are times when his decision making is very Kirk-like. And so when
Yes.
I think of Kirk, and I think of Kirk, somebody who he went to the academy with, somebody who got to know him, who loved him, they bunked together, maybe they camped and fished together, maybe they hung out together. I would just see Kirk as saying, "Oh, well, you're a murderer. So I'm taking you in. You have to atone for your crimes. You can't just murder people." And so I think it's weird because I love Cisco and I don't see him as somebody who's like, well, you've murdered some people, you've assaulted some people, you've blown up a whole bunch of ships, killed dozens upon dozens of people, just with no thought at all. But I'm going to let you go because you're my buddy.
Yeah. By the way, I see what you said there, Phantom. Oh, sorry, Sandra had a bit of a fire accident on the stove. I'm glad you guys were okay and took care of that. By the way,
Oh my
good.
goodness.
It's a little bit of a misfire of the fire there, so to speak. Yeah, it sort of speaks to you kind of brought up a situation. You brought up Kirk, and I just sort of makes me think of it's not exactly, maybe not a 100% analogous, but the Omega Glory where Captain Tracy becomes basically a mass murderer on a planet, totally breaking the Prime Directive. Now it's true they weren't like lifelong friends, but that's beside the point. Kirk still didn't want to have to do that, but he didn't take it easy on Tracy at all.
Nope.
And Tracy didn't deserve it. Tracy was murdering all these innocent people. And
for me, if I had a friend, a lifelong friend, and they murdered full ships with hundreds of people on them, I would that person would not be my friend anymore.
Yeah, and this, I guess we can't talk about something that happens in a future episode that also dealt with the Maquis, but there's this one and there's one in the future. It pissed me off about the way they made me angry at Cisco. Because all the other times I love him. Yeah, Kirk's the number one. He always will be. Yeah. But I really have loved Cisco and still do. But this one and another one. Hey there, Sandra. Good to see you, Sandra. I'm glad you're okay. You had a little,
I'm glad you're all right.
Fiery accident there. I'm glad it's all right. But see, Kirk and Cisco, there are similarities, and for them to, every time it's the Maquis are involved, they make Cisco unlikable to me and really aggravate me. So,
yeah, so like I think of Kirk as the gold standard. So if Kirk is the gold standard of Starfleet, then what's happening here? Like even when you think of P Hard, even P Hard, who has to have a conference just to go to the washroom, even he would be able to say, like, I'm sorry, but you've murdered hundreds of people, you've assaulted people, you've destroyed public property, you may cause a full-scale war where millions or billions could die. What are you doing? I'm taking you in, mister.
And that's what he's done so.
Yeah.
And Picard has done that in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. And then my last note is Sarkona's the Vulcan, the sexy Vulcan lady speaking with Quark. She's unable to unpack and reason out a situation. Vulcans are trained in rhetoric, and so they would be able to unpack the cause and effect there. So it makes Vulcans look stupid. And in part one, they already made her look like a nincompoop because she knew nothing about Ferengi culture. And of course, she should know everything about Ferengi culture. This is an intellectual society that is studying other worlds and is just as curious about the universe as human beings are, more towards the science than the interpersonal relationships. But Vulcans are hungry for information. So I thought that it was incredulous that she was unable to unpack this situation and that Quark had to explain it to her. What really upset me is she says that she's confused, and she actually uses the word confused. And then I put in my notes, this poor Vulcan is not exactly Spock, is she? And so I think that they're moving Vulcanians into being nincompoops in this episode, and I don't like it.
A terrible portrayal of Vulcans. It's horrible.
And the girl's hot.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
she's beautiful.
Oh my, yeah. I don't know if you're hearing. He may not be hearing us, but Max. I don't think Max could be here tonight because he's had some technical problems. He just sent me. So I'm sorry about that, buddy. if you're hearing this on some other way, sorry about the problems there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So those are all my notes, boss. That's all I have to say about the Maquis part poo.
okay, well, yeah, look, it's just let's just get past it, I guess, is all we can do. What
Mhm.
is your rating of that one?
Like I said, it's a great drama. It's great storytelling, but this is
It
not
is.
Star Trek. It's actually trying to fundamentally alter the different species and alter the character of, alter the moral fiber and the ethics of fundamental characters. Altering their foundation, eroding their foundation. So I'm sorry, it's a C minus.
Wow, you're nicer than me. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna probably just give it a D plus,
Okay.
maybe C minus D, but we'll go with a D plus because it is good drama. I mean, it's well done, well acted.
It
And
is.
anything else, it would be fine. It just doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't belong in Star Trek. So
Nope.
that's kind of the way. Just kind of every time I watch it, I don't feel good when I'm watching these two episodes. It doesn't mean I have to feel good in every episode of Star Trek because you shouldn't watch Deep Space Nine if you need to feel good every week. But there should be some.
It should feel like Star Trek.
Right. It should even the crappy episode at least feels what usually sometimes could often feel in the boundaries of Star Trek. This one doesn't for me.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah,
she
so.
and the Vulcanian Sarcona even basically says that she's attracted to Quark.
It's just
It's weird,
good.
and it that's not a Vulcanian. How did she get through Kolinar? There's no way she would have gotten through.
The way she did.
Well, she has. There's no way she got through Kolinar, and she was fully purged, and so that's a betrayal.
No.
And the thing is that this is Berman, Piller, Taylor, and I forget the list. I don't have the list in front of me, but
is Ron Moore there yet?
I don't. Let me go look. I'm sorry.
Maybe not. I don't think so. I think he was still on the.
So it's Ira Stephen Bear, Jerry Taylor, Michael Piller, and Rick Berman who wrote this story. And so here we see them trying to erode the foundations of whole species that are established in canon, and then also these characters. They alter the the moral fiber of these characters, shifting their personalities, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, but Wolfie, say what you want about Cybok, he wouldn't join a bunch of terrorists. Even though he started his own little terrorist faction, he didn't want anyone killed. Remember, he was still didn't want anyone hurt. He was a peace-loving Vulcan who was, yes, trying to steal a starship. But remember, he didn't want any bloodshed. He wouldn't join. He wouldn't do what this Vulcan did. And yet he did admit to having emotions. He embraced his emotions. Yeah, I don't mind a character being, one Vulcan character like Cybok. I really don't mind Cybok of him being like that, but he wouldn't do what this woman claims to be a logical Vulcan. Cybok had he admitted to be embracing his emotions. So
yeah,
a little bit different character for sure. Anyway, all right. So let's see. We got our ratings now. I think I will ask. He gave them. They had the little rock. He didn't give them the guns. They already had the little rock guns. He didn't actually give them guns, but yeah. Oh, look, yeah. But he didn't say go. He tried to stop people from killing each other. Mm-hmm. And remember, he did have the whole crew at one point at gunpoint, didn't kill him. So no, Cybok was not like that girl. But anyway.
And of course, he embraces the alien god as well, so that no one else will be harmed.
Yes, I mean, he doesn't want
when he realizes it's a murderous, psychotic.
Right. Cybok's a good guy. He's just crazy.
Yeah, he's like, let me join with you, and he sacrifices himself so that being cannot harm others.
Yeah, she's nothing like Cybok. But anyway, all right. What is my friends in the chat now? It is your turn. Please give us your rating of the Maquis Part 2 and any words you might have on the episode. And we don't have anything other than that tonight, but still, number one, if you would be so kind as to star away.
I will. And the boss misspoke. This episode is not called the Maquis Part 2. It's called the Maquis Part Poo.
I'm sorry, I wrote it wrong.
Sorry, Captain.
Sorry. No, it's okay.
I had to do that to make you laugh.
No problem.
And they're starting to roll in now. You'll find 6 in your folder now, boss.
Okay. There we go. Fixed it. Let's see here. Alrighty then. Okie dokie. We have the Catman, aka D.D. Myers. Clobby, I didn't care for this episode. For the actors and actresses, they did great with what was given to them and give it a C minus. Very bored with it. Thought it was a waste of time of an episode. Thank you so much, Catman.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
I concur with you. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Hungry Boy says C minus. A badly tailored Starfleet uniform of an episode, trying to play to actors' strengths rather than their vanities. And again, I love Barney Casey. I'm a big fan of his. Shame an episode. But which ineptly harkens to the black and tan problems of Ireland, with the outside supply chain of resources to people resisting forceful occupations. All quite heavy, but at least we got a cutie patootie Cuban actress Vulcan in an almost 1930s style scene with Quark to lighten it up.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's why it didn't get a D or an F from me. Is I find a lot of the time that I can be charmed by DS9.
Yes, it is often not the kind of Trek the original series was, but it can often be very good drama. C from the Great Derek K says, great acting. Episode should be called Cisco Says Just Die and Take It. Yeah. I hate when you put Cisco in the light to have to be like that. The Federation is blind and stupid to everything.
Yep.
They only wish to bury heads in the sand all the way, and all will go away. Does not work. And here's the thing.
I agree, Eric.
Cisco has this great speech about what's wrong with the Federation. How they, about them seeing paradise and not understanding what it's like out there on the frontiers and all that stuff. That speech is good. It just doesn't belong in Star Trek. It would be great in anything else. Yep. But it's just they shouldn't put Star Trek in that position. I don't know.
Because the first thing Kirk would say to him when he went off and saying this dumb speech that sounds very eloquent and very high-minded, but Kirk would turn around and say to him, "But that's our business. Our business is being out on the frontier, and we're the best and we're the brightest, and we're here to seek out new life and new civilizations. We're here to offer that olive branch, to create those connections, to discover and to be discovered." And so that whole speech that Cisco gives would be washed away in an instant by Kirk, because Kirk would say, "No, rocking is my business, and business is good. Like you're supposed to be a talented, amazing person to be in Starfleet, to be out there, colonizing these planets." I don't understand why they make it seem like they sent the homeless out there. It's odd. Anyway.
Well, because message always gets in the way of common sense. It always look. Even though a lot of people think this kind of crap only started in 2016 with the quote unquote, as the kids call them, the SJW crowd and all that stuff in Hollywood. It's been going on for a long time, and even in the old days when there was still a lot of wonderful quality stuff being done, like this show, there are episodes of Deep Space Nine where the message is more important than the story, and in my opinion, every time it falls. And there are going to be other examples of it coming up. In my opinion, every time that happens, I don't like it. I mean, it's not. This is me. Raymond says, D, I really didn't like the Maquis. Let's move on.
I just want to interject very quickly to say, D.D. Myers, it's my pleasure. I'm sending love and hugs to you and Mrs. Myers.
Indeed. Wolfie says, rating B minus, slow to unfold the second part, but Cisco's speech on the situation makes it work for me. Again, Wolfie, I actually agree with everything he said in that. I just don't think it should have been in Star Trek. So I'm torn on it. The foundation of the Maquis was established in The Wounded in TNG. Yes, it was. It's true. Well, the foundation was. Even though we saw them in TNG's preemptive strike, this is actually the first appearance of the Peregrine class Federation Fighter.
Ooh.
Okay. Coolness. You might be asking how they have photon torpedoes at only 25 meters in length. No, I wasn't, but I'm glad you did.
Oh, teach me.
They carry the same micro torpedoes the runabouts carry. Peregrines are also armed with pulse phaser cannons. Always
Oh,
bringing it there.
very cool.
Always good stuff
God, I
coming from
love Wolfie.
Wolfie. Always bring it, Wolfie. Appreciate you.
Yes, he brings the facts, Jack.
Find some outsider was the man and said, C. A Ferengi explaining commerce to a Vulcan makes sense because it's likely like those on Earth. Vulcans no longer worry about money while Ferengi society is immersed in commerce.
But that wasn't my assertion, though, Phantom Outsider. It was that she was unable to rationalize the players in the game. So what would be the cause and effect and how the other people could set one another off? And of course, we know that that Spock was an expert. All Vulcans are trained experts in being able to anticipate what foes will do, how enemies will interact, how best to bypass certain situations to prevent harm, to provoke, to elicit. And of course, she's a complete nincompoop. She stands in front of Quark and he's like, well, don't you see? If they do this, then we'll do this. And so he makes her look like a nincompoop, and it's not good.
She's an idiot. The writers apparently embrace the concept of your best friend is someone who will help you move, hide the bodies. How was Cam given command of a starship? Is Starship commands given as a lottery?
That's a great comment.
I don't know.
That's a great comment. I agree, Phantom Outsider.
So you spend 20 plus years in an organization and you abandon your entire belief system at the drop of a hat. Sure, if you're psychotic, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I love these comments. Totally agree, Phantom.
J.D. Lewis says, C, stellar performances in an otherwise weak episode. A pity. Star Trek normally excels with message allegory episodes.
Mm-hmm. It's true, JD.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. J.T. Kirk says, B-, good acting. Having a degree in international relations, I have to say the Federation is portrayed as impossibly inept for a political entity its size. Rewrite needed. Wow, there
Love
you
you,
go.
JT.
Absolutely. Narat Anax Amanda Bear says, F+. Wow. I'm just so not about the Mockies.
Mm-hmm.
Or the majority of this episode. Bring out the club on it. Well, just for you, sir, we will do it. You know, absolutely. Narat, let me find it for you first. Here you go.
Crap. So funny.
Glad to be of service. There you go. And let's see here. Chris Perser says, C-. Trying to obtain justice is the Starfleet way. Killing the actual murderers is Klingon justice,
Yeah.
but killing possibly innocent people in wrath is not part of anyone's code of conduct.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Yes. The idea of any Vulcan to willingly become a part of what is a terrorist group is not logical and seems more in line with the actions of a Romulan working off feelings. Yes.
Yeah.
Does. Although entertaining and raises some moral questions for Sisko, Hudson is the Maquis ringleader, and this is still not Star Trek.
I love you, Chris Persia. I completely agree.
His other thing he said was, snarf. I should have edited and said it. Oh, it raises. No, you're good, man. Phantom Outsider said, apparently not all Vulcans are well educated, since she apparently was getting by on her looks.
Well, she was hot.
She was a hottie. Well, looks like the only one we have left, of course, is our great friend ED. So if you would like to read Enigmatic Drop Bear's review.
I got it. I'm very excited about it. Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. He's probably going to drop the mic tonight.
LGG Free the Net is just popped in.
Well,
Hello there,
hello.
LDG. I don't know if we've seen you here before, but welcome to Clobbering Times. I always like to see new people show up, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you.
So Edie, Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear, he's got a 7-parter here. He gives this episode a D-. He says this is a manifest of misapplication that indulges all manner of inversions in Star Trek philosophy and characterizations. Wow, that is a breathtakingly good opening. 2 of 7. Where was the real Cisco? That he would have sympathy for Cal or the Maquis cause is ridiculous. Being bested by Ducat in both diplomacy and leadership is equally ridiculous. Oh my gosh, he's dropping the mic. Cisco unconsciously acknowledges the absurdity of his own attitude when he tells Hudson that he has endangered the treaty, putting millions of lives at risk. I love you, Edie. This is great. Later, he spouts a weird monologue that effectively disputes the idealism of the Federation and an apparent view on the unachievability of peace. What was I watching?
Yeah.
This is like one of his best reviews ever. Likewise, Hudson belies his Starfleet commission by indulging in the colonists' cause. Totally agree. Quark, a Ferengi, lecturing Sarcona, a Vulcan, on logic is ridiculous. And this absurdity is compounded in the context of him making an argument to her for pursuing peace. Right? Exactly. And then, one final comment. You dropped the mic, baby. Like, stand up and take a bow. Babe, this is such a great review. I love this review. This is one of your best. 7 of 7. His final comment: Vulcans are not dumb. That was just perfect. I just loved that. That was amazing. Thank you.
Apollonie's minions here.
And the pepperoni. Good stuff.
There we go. Good to see you, Apollonie. Hello. All righty. Well, I guess we don't have any more.
Nope.
Any more reviews, right?
Nope.
That's okay. That's okay indeed. It'll move us right along, I suppose. We're done with the Maquis at least. Going once, going twice. Okay, everyone. Time for our next episode. Which is The Wire, not to be confused with the well-known TV show of the same name.
Mm-hmm. The Wire is season 2, episode 22. And if you're out there on those international streaming services, this is prod code 442. We all watched this for the very first time on May 9th, 1994. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from the user-generated synopsis on wikipedia.org. Let's go. At a weekly lunch date with Dr. Julian Bashir, Garak appears to be having severe headaches, but refuses to allow Bashir to help. He later hears Garak discussing a deal with the bartender and a small-time criminal, Quark. The next day, Garak collapses in pain after drinking heavily, and Bashir takes him to the infirmary. Bashir finds that Garak has an implant of some sort in his brain. He and Constable Odo observe Quark trying to order a piece of Cardassian biotechnology, which turns out to be classified by the Obsidian Order, the feared Cardassian intelligence agency. Garak eventually reveals to Bashir that the implant was given to him by the former head of the Obsidian Order, Enra Braun Tain. I'm just going to call him Tain. And not to be confused with taint.
Enabram Tain.
Yeah. But reading it,
gotcha.
It's so much easier to just repeat it when you're talking about it. But when you're reading it, it's like, You're like, these made up spellings, somebody needs a smack for them. Anyways, let's go. It was designed to make him resistant to torture, but he has been using it to cope with the pain of living in exile, becoming addicted to it. And it is now breaking down from overuse. Garrick claims he deserves his punishment and tells how he once destroyed a ship containing 98 Cardassians, including his aide, Eileen. Bashir turns the implant off, and Garrick becomes extremely agitated. He explains that rather than killing Eileen, he was exiled for releasing a group of Bajoran children he was supposed to interrogate. After expressing disdain for his friendship with Bashir, Garrick again loses consciousness. Even with the implant off, Garrick is still dying. Bashir considers turning the implant back on to save him. Garrick refuses and decides to tell Bashir the quote-unquote truth. Eileen was not Garrick's aide, but his childhood friend. The two were both powerful men in the Obsidian Order until Garrick tried to frame Eileen for releasing Bajoran prisoners. But Eileen beat Garrick to the punch, and Garrick was exiled. Bashir seeks out Tain to ask for help. Tain tells Bashir that if he were truly Garrick's friend, that he would allow Garrick to die. However, he agrees to give Bashir the information needed to counteract the effects of the implant. Before departing, Bashir asks Tain what truly became of Eileen. Tain laughs and explains that Eileen is Garrick's first name. After recovering, Garrick resumes his weekly lunches with Bashir. He says he heard a strange rumor. Odo thinks Garrick was once a member of the Obsidian Order. Pressed for real answers, quote unquote, Garrick tells the Doctor that all his stories have been true, especially the lies. And that is all the collective internet has to say about the summary of the plot of The Wire. So, what'd you think, boss?
It's Garrick. I love Garrick. This is a drama, much like we've been getting from DS9, what you usually get from them, but a good one in my opinion, because Garrick's such a terrific character. It's a pretty I really think he and Bashir have a great chemistry together. I always did. I thought this was a very enjoyable dialogue, character-driven episode from Elam Garrick, who was a great character in my opinion. So I enjoyed it because, again, I do thoroughly enjoy this character. So I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
I like this one. Notes?
Okay. I love Jadzia's plant. This is obviously from Beauregard. So I just love seeing the plant. And then I wrote in yelling all caps, a Garrick episode.
Yay, Garrick.
Yeah, and Garrick says accurate to the micrometer. Fans say this is a goof, and you'll see it all over these user-generated websites. They're like, a micronomer is a device, not a unit of measurement. It measures pressure, not length. And so they go on about this, and they say that this is a big goof on the show. A micrometer is not a goof. It's an actual measurement, a micrometer. The thing is that people commonly say a micron instead of a micrometer. Both are correct to the International Bureau of Weights and Measures. So Quark's pronunciation isn't the preferred pronunciation because it should be micrometer, but micrometer is a measurement. It's not just a device. Okay. So if you read that out on these user-generated sites and they say that that's a goof, it's not a goof. They don't know what they're talking about.
Gotcha. Hey, Jill. Hey, Jill. What's up? Good to see you there.
And another thing that I saw in this episode that I didn't like is that Kanar is black, not light blue. Quark says Garrick is drinking all of his Kanar, but his booze looks like Romulan or Andorian ale, not Kanar. Later, Tain, in his own home, in his own office, replicates Kanar. He asks for Kanar. And the replicator produces, again, really light blue Andorian or Romulan ale. So here we see that the editor is not doing their job. The director isn't doing isn't doing his or her job. Just not good. It's probably Jerry Taylor here in charge here. It's just, I'm sorry, but fans know the difference between Kanar and Romulan and Andorian ale. And things that are light blue are not Kanar. Kanar looks basically like, it looks black in a glass, but if you look at the chemical composition of Kanar and the way that they portray Kanar as a character on its own, like a part of the lore, it's actually kind of like poop. Like it's like if coffee, like it's brown and black and
Mm.
it's kind of sludgy or whatever. Anyway,
Oh,
so I don't like that.
oh my goodness. Well,
This is a spy story, not science fiction. And here we introduce the Obsidian Order. How many secret
CIA.
organizations can DS9 take?
Well, yeah, but you can see the Kardashians having that. It's just when they do it with Section 31 and crap like that aggravate me.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just like, why do we?
Talpiar and now this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so we've got the Tal Shiar, we've got the Obsidian Order, then we've got this stupid Section 31. Like, please just, gee.
I'd like some Tarkalian tea myself. But
Yeah. New fans consider this episode proof that Garrick and Bashir are flirting, that they have a sexual relationship with each other.
No.
And I just wrote in my notes that regardless of your sexual orientation, men should be able to be friends without sexual attraction. So, as a social scientist, I think it's wrong that men are not allowed to be kind to one another or have lunch together or do anything unless, there's some sort of romantic relationship there. And people have been trying to make a romantic relationship between Spock and Kirk as well. And I think this does a disservice to everyone.
Well, that's presentism right there.
Because men should be able to hug and kiss and comfort their male friends just like women do.
But, yeah.
Well, well, I know what you're saying, but when I lived as a Greek person for nearly 2 decades, and I can tell you in that part of the world, Greece and Italy, a light air kiss to both sides of your cheek is just base politeness, and it doesn't carry any sexual connotation. But I just think that the same people who are constantly saying that they're progressive are constantly making men feel as though they can't have relationships, and men should be able to have friendships, just like I'm friends with you. Some people say that's impossible. A man can't be friends with a woman. And I don't believe that stuff. I think it betrays us as people. 2 men can be friends, and they can have lunch, and they can care for one another, and they can hug one another, and yes, they can kiss either side of their face upon seeing one another. And it's just, that's normal. And I just think that it's false. It's being falsely progressive to constantly say that any man who has any close relationship with another character automatically has a romantic attraction.
That's presentism, I'm telling you, because no, guys aren't touchy-feely about it, but we hang out with guys all the time. So, and if you watch these 2 characters, they're just they're projecting, because these characters never have any kind of contact like that. They don't touch each other or anything. They just talk, and they hang out with each other. He and O'Brien just talk and hang out with each other. They don't. That's just idiots. Hell with their presentism crap.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But I just wanted to make sure that people know that. Like, as a social scientist, I think it's wrong that society does that, because it's very hypocritical. If you're shipping, and I've never understood why they use that word, but if you're shipping Spock and Kirk as being romantically involved, and you're shipping Garrick and Bashir as being romantically involved, you really aren't being progressive, because being progressive is realizing that men are capable of having complex, intricate, emotional, and connected relationships without it being of a sexual nature. Men can be friends with women, and men can be affectionate toward one another and not be romantically involved. So I just want to call the hypocrisy what it is,
crap.
right?
Yeah, total crap.
So and then my last note is Andy Robinson is wonderful, but the never-ending lies are tiring, not intriguing. We start to think that he may have some sort of mental illness, like multiple personality disorder. And I think the writers really betray the character Garrick here, because everyone wants to like Garrick. Garrick is interesting, and he's played well by an amazing character. However, I did say the closing scene redeems it all. And that's all my notes.
Yes, I like that scene. We get some really good Bashir in this one. I think this one really is the one that really gives, that relationship that you're talking about. This is the one that really sets it in stone, and moving forward, it's a really good one. And really does a lot. This episode is a Garrick episode, but it does a lot for the character of Bashir. It shows his determination, He's not just a fluffy bunny. He's not just a joke. He's a
Mm-hmm.
very serious, competent, and extremely intelligent individual. And I mean, I've already liked him. A lot of people have said, you know, even you like criticized him once in a while and joked about him being frivolous and silly or whatever. He's
Mm-hmm.
not in this one. I think he's really well written in this one. And the performance by Alexander Siddig, this is when he was Siddig El Fadal
Yes.
on the show, is terrific. And he is really great in it. Holds his own with a great actor like Andrew Robinson and a great character. So I really enjoyed this one for the performances more than anything else. Performances and the character interaction. That's my biggest takeaway from enjoying the episode. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is your rating of The Wire?
Okay, so this is a spy story, and it sets up a spy storyline that they can return to, and then and now it's almost like every species is going to have their own spy storyline. Not a huge fan of it. I mean, I like science fiction, but the thing is you're either all in on DS9 or you're not. So I judge this as a DS9 episode, not as a full Star Trek or science fiction episode. I think that Andy is amazing. Siddig is okay here. It is nice that he's not a complete nincompoop, and normally he is. And I love Andy. I think Andy is wonderful. So talented, wonderful performance here. So although it's not my favorite kind of story, Andy just makes it for me, and I give it a B minus.
Gotcha. I got it at a B plus because I enjoyed the performances so much. I really do like Bashir a lot. I've always liked him, and I think he's even. Yes, please go ahead with your reviews now, everybody. I think he's a terrific actor and a terrific character, and I like the two
He
of them
is.
together in particular. So, yeah, I'll be plus on that. So, everyone, please go ahead and put your reviews in. Like I said, this we have to face the facts. We keep saying it so much. This is and is not a science fiction show,
That's
meaning
right.
it's a science fiction setting, but it's a science fiction drama. I mean, every episode technically, of course, is science fiction because it's taking place on a space station in the future. So it's
Mhm.
that. But every story is not necessarily science fiction, excuse me. Whereas just about every single episode of the original series, and certainly is science fiction through and through.
Mhm.
Even TNG, for the most part, even a garbage one, is trying to be a science fiction story through and through. This one is a little different. It's different Star Trek.
Mhm.
And sometimes, as we see with stuff like the Maquis, it's very off base Star Trek.
Mhm.
Even though it's still a terrific show. It's a great space drama. It's a great science fiction drama, but it's not always, not even frequently science fiction. But it is still usually a damn entertaining show.
Mhm.
So while you're doing that, let me get started. We have Raymond Feliciano says B. Anything with Garrick is intriguing. Agreed, Raymond. I agree. I like him, and he's definitely a member of the Obsidian Order. What a great name.
Mhm.
That's about as cool a name as you can get for a slimy secret organization.
Mhm.
JT Kirk says my rating is so high, even the cursed number is the curse of number is classified. Wow. Top 10 episode for me.
Great.
The Obsidian Order, Garak and Bashir's friendship, Andrew Robinson's acting, etc. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me find your next one there, JT. Oh, there it is. Okay. Whenever someone asks me if I've ever watched The Wire, yeah, because I know what you're talking about, the TV show, I start talking about this episode, and everyone always becomes quite confused. Yes.
Very cute.
I hears you, dude. I've never watched that HBO show, The Wire, myself either, but I know a lot of people like it, but I've just never, not my bag, maybe. Let's just say. Eric K says, B plus. Love some Obsidian Order. Elam Garak and Anabran Tain. Dynamic foreshadows things to come.
Yes.
Yep. I think he means the Elam Garak and Anabran Tain dynamic foreshadows things to come. Sorry about that. Love it. A good Garak episode is a good episode. He is the most interesting part of this show. Well, there you go. Hungry boy sales. A plus plus. Wow.
Ooh, he loved it.
So many metaphors and analogies in this that my head was spinning. It was
Oh,
like 50 violins playing different motifs, but
oh,
each note played perfectly.
wonderful.
Wow. So many allusions to
Hmm.
new neighbors with new names. While their old names might have been Slobodan or Pinyoch. Pinchach. Sorry. I always mangle his stupid name. Sorry. But Pinchot. Oh, I can't get it. Never mind. Callbacks to the Stasi and East Germany, to the Stasi of East Germany, were rife, yet
Hmm.
handled with the same care as the spy who came in from the cold. Wow,
Mm.
interesting references there for sure. My goodness, this. General X Dirty. Yes, of course, the great Dirty Harry villain. Gen X Dirty Harry fans, excuse me, all knew or Andrew Robinson was knocking these gut wrenching performances out of the park since '71. Because he was great in that. He was in the first. He was the villain from the first Dirty Harry movie, which coincidentally on Toxic Tuesday this upcoming Tuesday night, my great friends Nick Weiser and the gang will be reviewing that movie. So if you're interested in that, great film.
Cool.
Um, Knew he was building to something in DS9, but this was a time bomb of talent which exploded for our pleasure, not detriment. Wonderfully written, as always. Great Hungry Boy. Incredible stuff.
Excellent. And I'm
Jade,
so happy you had a great time.
Indeedishness. J.D. Lewis also enjoyed it a lot. A plus. An excellent Bashir and Garrick episode. A great rapport between Siddig and Robinson. Forget Bashir and O'Brien. Bashir and Garrick is the true bromance of DS9. Oh, that board
Yeah.
bromance. Oh boy. Thank you, JD. Appreciate you, buddy. You say Wolfie says rating A minus. Garrick has some serious shite going on with his past. Too
Yeah.
bad he will never tell us about it directly. I think this is a nice example of Bashir's character fleshing out. It's just fleshing out. I think he means fleshing, though.
Yeah.
Not sure. I think he means fleshing.
He means fleshing out.
Bashir basically risked going into Cardassian space to possibly save his patient and his friend, of course. Bashir basically risked going into Cardassian space to possibly save his patient. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I found the wrong one. I'm an idiot. Sorry. The acting by Siddig, Dooley, and especially Robinson is out freaking standing.
I love
Nice
this.
mix here. Yep, of some sci-fi with the Cardassian endorphin tech over top of the spy story. I am happy with this.
Oh, lovely.
I'm happy with this. Absolutely, Wolfie. Thank you so much.
It fits better in with UFO than with Star Trek, but I love it.
That makes sense. Eric K said she blinded me with science. She blinded me with science. Okay. Not a review, but we'll take it. Catman says, Claude, I give it a B plus. I agree with what you have said about this episode. Thank you, Catman. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Bunch of outsider was a man, and he might still be a man. We're not casting roles on you. Fanty says B. There is sci-fi. There is sci-fi. It stems. Oh, there is sci-fi. It stems from the advanced tech needed to put a device in the brain to help resist torture, used to alleviate the stress of being banished from his home world. Okay, hang on. You never say how many you're going to have, Fanty. You need to put, like, if you have 3, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, or whatever, it'll help. And don't let me use my agonizer on you. Or your agonizer on you. Which shows how much Garrick actually misses his home. It also shows that he truly considers bashing Bashir, I think, as a friend. It was odd that Tane, as the head of the Obsidian Order, would decide to help Garrick. Well, he said he wanted him to live and suffer. I take him at his word. Considering how much Garrick knows his elimination should be something the Order would desire and embrace. Seems like there is more to this story. Yes, there is. I do believe so. Um, Garrick saying even his lies were true shows how twisted those in the Order actually are and how dangerous they are.
Mm-hmm.
Indeedishness. Yes, sir. Um, Naranax Amanda Bear says, hey, it's a good Garrick and Bashir episode. I'm not even usually a big fan of the spy storylines. I wouldn't watch The Wire, for example. I think it's maybe just because it's DS9 that I like it. It's a fair call.
I love Nerat's honesty.
Nerat? Oh, yeah,
Just
way to
love
be,
it.
Nerat. Absolutely. So we have Jill and AD, if you would like to do the honors. My first number
Hey.
one, and I will switch over there.
Hello, you gorgeous
point.
nerd. My fellow nerd, my fellow INTJ, Anti-Derivative Jill, our communications officer. She's got a 4-parter here. She's going to go ahead and give this episode an A. She says, Garrick is my favorite character because he is the exact opposite of me and reminds me to be not too gullible. Also, Clobby, could you please play your Andrew Robinson clip? The
Yes.
one that Maximum Redstone.
Want to play it right now?
Sure.
Okay, everyone, this is Andrew Robinson's video note to me that was sent that was a present from the great Max Redstone for my birthday, which was a couple of months back. And yes, so courtesy of the great Max Redstone, this is himself, the man, Andrew Robinson, for another. Excuse me. Here he is. Here he is, sir. Here.
This is a birthday limerick for clobbering times from Max Redstone. Just Garrick. Friends Romans Cardassians, lend me your ears. I'm a plain, simple tailor, and you should have no fears. You might think that Jadzia is fine, or that Cisco's divine. But I'm the interesting one to watch for the next several years. Happy birthday from Andy Robinson and obviously from Garrick.
Again, big shout out and thank you to the great Max Redstone for that.
Maximum Redstone.
Yes. So
let's keep going, Jill.
Keep going.
2 of 4. As a means of protection, Garrick's not always forthcoming, which requires Bashir to play spy himself to help. The reversal of roles helped to show how determined a friend Bashir can be. Yeah, he's quite the mystery, isn't he, Garrick?
Yes.
Garrick's misery in exile, as contrast to his good-hearted cynicism achieved through artificial production of endorphins, brings up the question as to how he deals with this pain going forward. Yeah, they don't really resolve that in the episode. I wish they did. Bashir becomes a stronger doctor, not only channeling McCoy's I'm a doctor, not a, but also some of his attitude in that his motivations lie in concern for healing his friend. Yeah, I like that he loses his temper and is like, damn it. Do you know what I mean? That was an excellent review, Jill. Thank you so much. Indeed. And let's move right into Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. He's got a 4-parter. He gives this episode an A+. And he says, the rapid ascent from the bottom of the quality sine wave to its very top was nosebleed inducing. This episode was so good that I watched it twice.
Wow.
One story. No B plot, no C plot, just an expertly written 2-character story played by one of the greatest character actors ever to grace the television.
Indeed.
What a beautiful review. I love his reviews. Although we can't really determine Garrick's facts from fiction, we nevertheless learned quite a bit about Cardassia, its military, and hints at its clandestine operations. Yeah, and that if if your allegiances shift or your usefulness shifts, the entire government will shift away from you no matter what. And we see this happening with Ducat. Excellent review. And 404. Teens reveal that Elim is Garrick's first name, and the way that looped back into the themes in the Never-Ending Sacrifice, as explained by Garrick, was so clever. And that
Indeed.
is all Edie has to say about this episode. And that was a very, very
Well
good
done.
review
Thank
at Jill and Enigmatic Drop Bear.
Absolutely. Fantastic as always, ED and Jill. We have one more review, I guess, and that is the great Chris Persia, the Vindicator, says B+. Always great to see just plain and simple Garrick. Interesting twist, going from a story about addiction to one of self-hatred with great development between Garrick and Bashir.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Bashir possibly risk his life in search of a way to save Garrick was compelling, but will we find it's true? Well, I mean, we'll find out what's true, though we won't. It's all true, especially the lies. It was, it was really great stuff there, and just again, top-notch character episode, absolutely ishness. Let me see here. So I guess we're ready to move on to we're making some good time here. Are we ready for our next episode?
We are.
Okay. All right, everybody. If that's all the reviews for that last one, here is our next one.
Oh, boss.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I hate to derail you, but we have Waddy Sticks in the chat.
Okay.
Clon Peegs. You know what that means, right?
Are you sure?
All right. They're
well,
calling for it. What can I do?
Blame Raquel.
And for that, I would like you all to know that you can ask Nirot Anaximandabear for his agonizer.
What? Well, hey, Cardinal Sim, what's up, buddy? First, before let's see, we deal with that here. All right, everyone. Looks like everyone wants to see JT Kirk's.
Your agonizer, please.
Not JT Kirk's. Nirot Anaximandabears.
Take it back. Sorry, well, JT Kirk is the one that you made those things for, though.
Yeah, but they were for. I think that JT intended them for Max, who loves to start the whole A word as much as possible. And did you see this wonderful gift? Gil just walked through the door.
Yes, just want to say Nirot.
Your agonizer, please.
Bad boys.
Good stuff.
Cardinal said, "What's up, buddy?"
Cardi.
Good to see
and
you,
Rob
Cardi.
Altus. Hey, sweetheart.
Rob Altus is here. All right, this great superhero.
Martin, he just walks through the door.
Never heard of him.
Hi, Mark D with a C.
Mark who with a what?
Mark D with a
C. What's up, dude? Thank you so much. I gotta scroll back to it. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Cardinal Sin 999. You're too kind, buddy. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you were doing well and having a great night. Of course, everyone, needless to say, please go and subscribe to the great Cardinal of Sins channel. And it's good to see the chief engineer who is on an away mission. And I hope having a good time and behaving. Or at least if you're not behaving, have a good time.
I do love that Nirot Anaximandabear is so pleased with himself that he's putting laughing out loud in the chat. So he's sufficiently pleased with himself. Boy. He was causing some trouble on Max Redstone's behalf. So Max,
good. Max will be
they're using the Waddy Sticks to call on the A word, even in your absence.
Indeed. Are we ready for our next episode?
We are, boss.
Oh, boy. All right.
Crossover.
Next episode, folks, crossover.
Crap over?
Crap over. Yeah, we're letting the cat out of the bag on this one. All right. If we must, let's go for it.
Yeah, okay. Crossover is season 2, episode 23. And if you're one of those international folks where you're scratching your head saying, what? The numbers are all mixed up all over the world. Blame the streaming services. It's not you. There's nothing wrong with you. Please know that you just have to look up prod code 443, and you'll be able to find it. This was broadcast for the very first time on May 16th, 1994. Now, I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from the plot synopsis provided on wikipedia.org. Let's do it! After experiencing operational difficulties while traveling through the wormhole, Major Kira and Dr. Bashir find themselves in an alternate universe populated by exact doubles of the people of their own universe. In this universe, the wormhole is unknown, and Terrans, in other words, humans, are slaves. Deep Space Nine is a mining station run by the Intendant, Kira's counterpart, with Garrick as her second in command, and Odo overseeing the Terran slaves.
Hello,
As
Dalek.
Bashir is sent to work... Sorry?
I'm just saying hello to Dalek because he
Dalek!
He just stopped to
Hey!
say hi
Nice
and
to
had to
see
run.
you!
Dalek, hello there. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say hello since he said he had to run. But
You can
thanks for
interrupt
stopping
me
in.
anytime.
Go ahead.
As Bashir is sent to work in ore processing, the Intendant tells Kira about James Kirk's visit to this universe a century ago. That incident led to the formation of a powerful alliance between the Klingons, Cardassians, and Bajorans, and the eventual conquest of the Terrans. Bashir tries to talk Miles O'Brien, a fellow slave, into configuring the transporters to help Kira and Bashir return home. But the beaten put upon O'Brien is unwilling to risk the wrath of his superiors. Meanwhile, Kira almost succeeds in securing help from the bartender Quark, but he is arrested and executed by Garrick for helping Terrans escape the station. Kira meets Benjamin Sisko, Mirror Universe counterpart, who receives better treatment than the other Terrans for carrying out piracy on behalf of the Klingon-Cardassian alliance. The Intendant assures Kira that she has nothing to fear and suggests they should become closer. Later, Garrick tells Kira that he intends to kill the Intendant and that he will let Kira and Bashir escape if she impersonates the Intendant and yields power to Garrick. Bashir will be killed if she does not comply. Kira tells Bashir they must find a way back to their runabout and make their escape through the wormhole. She tries to recruit Sisko's aid, but he is unmoved. That night, Garrick prepares to put his plan into effect at a lavish party thrown by the Intendant. Meanwhile, an accident in the ore processing plant gives Bashir the opportunity to escape, killing Odo in the process. Bashir convinces O'Brien to help, but the two are captured and brought to face the Intendant, who sentences them to death. O'Brien makes an impassioned speech, telling the assembled crowd what Bashir has revealed about the universe where Terrans have respect and dignity. His words move Sisko, who turns on the Intendant and helps Kira and Bashir to escape. The two return to their universe, leaving Sisko and O'Brien's counterparts to fight for the rights of Terrans in their own world. And that is all the collected internet has to say about the plot of Crossover. Well, boss, what'd you think of this? Crap.
Can you guess what I think about Crossover? Okay, folks. First of all, I would like to say,
Pleasant Valley Picker, BC. Good evening.
I said hello to him when he came. He's been here all night.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot going on in the background here. I'm moving stuff around, reading stuff. Sorry.
But hello to you again, Pleasant Valley Picker. All right. I'll just come clean right now, folks. Mirror Mirror is my all-time favorite episode of the original series. And do not screw with Mirror Mirror. It's the only time, and look, even though, don't give me a Mirror Darkly, because I mean, it was kind of interesting, but I just wish they would leave the freaking Mirror universe alone. I'm just going to give you up front. You don't even have to wonder about my review when it comes to one of these goddamn Mirror Universe episodes.
Well, Gene Roddenberry told them not to do it. He put it in writing. He told them not to redo episodes, and they did.
And you know me, I'm lenient on that. I mean, Roddenberry may not have been, but if something's a good follow up, I don't mind because they revisited Space Seed and I love Wrath of Khan. So, fine. I don't want the Mirror Universe screwed with because here, and maybe I would have been a little bit different if they didn't. In the very first time they do it, in this one, they shit all over Kirk and Spock. They blame everything on Spock. They blame the ruination of human beings and Vulcans and everything. Basically, it's all Kirk's fault, but it's really not. It's all Mirror Spock's fault. And right there, from get-go, forget how dumb it is how they got there, which was really lame. Just forget about that for a second. Immediately, I'm pissed when you start blaming the ruination of everything on Spock, Mirror Spock. Mirror Spock is yes, exactly, Wolfie. He's responsible for billions of deaths and humans and I guess Vulcans being garbage and having garbage lives now. And all the bad things that happened in the last 80-something years are because of Mirror Spock. It totally shits all over the original episode Mirror Mirror, in my opinion. So I friggin' and again, if you want to just leave that behind for a second, it's just stupid. It's not well done. It was so good the first time. And it's funny how there's something so cool about the Mirror Mirror, the way we see these Mirror Universe versions of our characters in Mirror Mirror, whereas in here the Mirror Universe versions are weird and fetishistic and just creepy. Kira's mirror self wants to bang her. Look, they didn't meet their counterparts in the Mirror Mirror. That's one of the clever things about it. They didn't know their counterparts. They never. In this one, you're meeting. In the case of Kira, meeting her counterpart. I'm like, she wants to be with herself. Get out of here. And we're supposed to believe that, Mirror Spock is a badass. And you can see why he would be so different from Spock. Mirror Cisco, yes, he's different from our Cisco, but he's just kind of I don't know, at the end, at least he's kind of okay, but I don't know. Just don't buy into their conclusions of how these mirror people would act. I don't like anything the way this episode goes. I freaking hate it almost as much as I hate any episode of this series. Anyway, all right, go ahead with notes because I can bitch about this stupid episode all night.
Okay, Julian.
Anyone
Bashir,
who likes it, by the way, anyone who likes it, fine. Don't listen to me. If you like it, be honest. Good.
Yes. Julian Bashir is entirely annoying. This character is super annoying. I never used to be so annoyed by him, but this watch, I'm just a different person than I was in 1994. Now I find Julian Bashir annoying. Anyway, Avery Brooks's overacting in this episode is bloody awful. It is so cringeworthy. You have to get up and leave the room when he does his weird fake laugh. It's
so cornball, stupid. And the ending's bad. Sorry.
Why is Kira being erotic with herself? It's weird. She's like flirting and like openly like saying that she wants to be with herself as like in that way. It's very strange. And then my final comment is, so they're not aware of the wormhole, but they go through the wormhole, and the wormhole goes to the mirror universe, even though it's controlled by the wormhole aliens. This is the dumbest plot ever. It's the dumbest story ever. This is the dumbest device for getting them to the mirror universe ever. They just should have done it again with the stupid transporter. They should not have met themselves. And for goodness sake, at least slingshot me around the sun, or slingshot me through an anomaly, or make something happen where you go to the alternate universe or to an alternate universe. That at least makes some sense. It does not make sense to me that the wormhole aliens took them to the mirror universe, and not just an alternate universe, and that they get back by just going through the wormhole, and that no one on DS9 is even aware of the wormhole in the mirror universe. This makes it absolutely stupid. It's dumb, dumb, dumb,
and
completely dumb.
So what is your rating of Crossover?
Well, Crapover is completely void of logic, sanity, and science. It's an F.
Well, I think that's a little low because I've got it at a F minus, goddamn minus. I hate it. But, look, mainly I'm going to admit to you folks, there are probably worse ones, but my hatred of this one is a lot of connected to my love of Mira. I got to admit to you that's part of it, for sure.
But it's also why are you talking Kirk? Why are you making it? Yeah. And why did you say that you altered your transporters? And what's going on with the wormhole aliens? And why did you blame everything on my childhood idol? Why did you blame everything on
Kirk
Spock?
And Spock? Kirk's the one who talked him into it.
Yeah, I know, but then Spock is responsible for all these billions of dead people.
It's horrid. It's disgusting. I hate
it. And the enslavement of the entire Terran race.
Exactly.
Give me a break.
I hate it. Anyway, but hey, look, everyone, I want you, before I ask you for your reviews, if you think it's the greatest episode ever, I'm not even going to pick on you. You give us your honest opinion. I was, whenever I go really harsh on an episode, I want to always say that. Because we don't care. If I really love an episode, I never go and say, look, if you guys think it's the worst one ever, fine. I don't have to do that. We don't have to. But when we're really harsh on one, I feel like we have to put that out there. Like, if you love it, hey, no judgment. I might not even pick on you that much. Just kidding. Yeah. So go ahead for your reviews, my friends, and Raquel will star those.
I will.
Go for it.
The word is given. Fire at will. Pew,
yes.
Pew, pew.
Fire at will. Fire at will. Fire at will. Fire at will.
Right, Chris? She's completely enamored with herself and is coming on to herself. So weird. What am I watching? What am I watching?
I want to make sure that you all know that the only one who's never allowed to disagree with me is Mark D with the C. He has to agree with everything with me, I say. But other than that, everybody else is free to have an opinion. I'm just saying that in case he's still listening.
It's okay if you like the episode. If you like the episode, please say so. I won't even send you to the agony booth.
No, I might, but she won't. That's okay.
I might send shin kicks, though. Just warning you now.
All righty. So let's get it started here.
Yeah.
JT Kirk, up in here. We'll get started up in here. JT Kirk says, B+. High grades for the intendant. Weird emojis. If she wasn't in this, it's weird how I can see these emojis he does, but when people use ours, we can't see them. That's ridiculous. If she wasn't in this, my grade for Crass is over to the unfavorable territory with the D-. But he likes the intended. I think she was creepy. Don't dump on Kirk, a-holes. Thank you, JT with the Kirk. Chris Perzia says F this episode. I just can't. I have a difficult time dealing with any Mirror Universe story post TS2OS, but to blame Mirror Spock or any Spock for the failure of a universe is blasphemy and idiocy, in my opinion. But I hear you, dude. Thank you so much, Chris Perzia. Pleasant Valley Pico says, I give it an F- rating, as in you moron a-holes that wrote this. Man, the only episode when I did not want to blang Kara. Thank you.
Boss,
Yes.
I need to tell you something really terrible.
Uh-oh.
Can we all please just take a second here to comfort Snail Messiah? Snail
Snail.
Messiah, somebody, one of their neighbors or somebody let a cat out and he hit it with a car, and he's a little bit traumatized by this
Oh, no.
happening. He does not feel good at all. He's
Aw.
pretty upset. So everyone, if you could please say hello to Snail Messiah. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. You must be so upset. Yeah. Ugh. I'm going to.
Wow.
Ugh, that's terrible, terrible, terrible.
Oh,
I'm
my
so
goodness.
sorry.
So sorry to hear that, Snail Messiah. I wish there was something we could do to make you feel better, my friend. At least you're here with your friends, and we understand. I mean, I've had people, there's nothing you could have done. That kind of thing happens, but
yeah, it's
nothing,
not your fault.
Yeah, nothing could console you. I get that, but we're here for you, my friend.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah, honey, sorry about that.
JD Lewis says, D-, an insipid episode, an unneeded sequel to a beloved TOS episode. The original was a perfect, complete. Oh yeah, I love it. Episode. This is an unneeded and unwanted episode. The Quark parody was better.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, sir.
I love that review. That was a great review, JD.
Thank you so much, JD.
And I totally agree with you. I love that you said it's unneeded.
Big time. Hungry Boy says, B+. Hubba hubba times a jillion. Forget the Sparpies. This was a space Viagra, an entire bottle of it. Wow, dude. But that's just the joy icing on the happiness cake. Reprises of past great Trek episodes often suck, but this one rose above.
Oh no, Hungry Boy. Oh,
wow.
No.
It rose. It did rise just enough to slip into the toilet. But anyway, there was so much. There was so much for the cast, writers, and directors to live up to that they should have made. Anyway, sorry. They handled it with aplomb, nuance, and fervency. If I'd been on that set, they'd have been handling on their ass and holding their, because they'd have been all with their faces bloody. Sorry. There'd have been some righteous rock fists in their face clobbering. Just saying, no, you're not going to be touching Mirror. Thank you. That's just me. A tour de force of defilement. Of acting acumen. Everyone elevating each other's performances, feeding each other rather than competing for the limelight. Wow. Let's see. Does he have another one? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Papa Delta Yankee, welcome.
Hey, Papa Delta Yankee. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for popping in. Always a pleasure. Let's see here. Extra points for the cinematographer and sound people for catching the nuanced micro expressions of vocal inflections. Now I'm just not even sure you're not putting me on. Are you sure you're not messing with me?
No, I just think he thinks Nana Visitor is hot.
Well, yeah, so do I. But Nana took the biggest challenge she, as a Trek actress, could receive and owned it. Camel toe. I get you. Go back to the desert. The queen is holding court. All righty then. There you go. Hungry Boy, dude. We appreciate you no matter what. The great Eric K says, D-. Clobby says everyone knows Wesley runs the Mirror universe. This episode is so much crap. Too much to say about this one. I'm with you, Bronze. I just gotta hate this episode so much.
That'll be enough out of you, JT Kirk.
But I want to say this. I don't hate this episode more than I love Hungry Boy. I just want to make sure that clear. I want him to know that I love him, no matter what.
He can take it, but he has a huge crush.
My love for him is unconditional. Yeah, but you can have a crush and still say it. Hot chicks are in bad stuff all the time. Bad shows.
I believe he is entranced. I believe he has. That's it.
Yeah, but he's given bad reviews to episodes she's been in before. So
I know, but I think this time there was just too much raw sex appeal.
See, I'm trying to give him the credit that he's more of a serious critic and not falling prey to such things. You, on the other hand, are insulting him by saying he just likes the episode because he likes Kira. But
Well-
that's okay. You can insult him like that. So he can take it.
Not insulting me, boy. I love him. I just think that he
Oh,
loves
shit.
the episode, and she's pretty hot to trot, and yeah.
Well, no one will ever dispute that. Catman says, Clobby, I hated this one with a passion. Thank you, my friend. I give it a D minus minus. Thank you, Catman, aka D.D. Myers. All righty. We have Wolfie. It says, rating C minus. Oh, shite. Oh, shite of Moraine. What was that? What did he say?
Yeah.
That almost reminds me of
Oh.
the mirror thing is back. I did not like these first few DS9 mirror episodes at all when they first aired. I hate them all still, man. Every one of them. I regrettably gave the filth a try when it first came on DS9's. When it first came on, DS9's versions is way better than the mirror. Well, I mean, yeah, because it's the filth. Which was the entire, the filth, the whole first season was mirror garbage. WTF. But enough about the hot buttered garbage.
I've never heard that saying before. I love that.
Hot
Hot
buttered
buttered garbage. I am
buttered
100%
garbage.
stealing that.
Stealing it. Evil Odo and his scanners moment was cool. Lots of fun with Smiley. At least they tripped the mirror universe on its head with the Terrans in the doghouse. I hated that. Wow, that made me sick. The bad, just use the transporter, please. It's like when you have to do a poo, but there is plastic wrap on the toilet and you have to push through to the mirror universe. Hopefully, use the poo universe. I'm not even sure what that means.
Gross.
Raymond says B. It had flaws, but it was a decent episode. Midriffs in the mirror universe.
Yes.
Hashtag Hash Brown midriffs in the mirror universe. Shame on you, Raymond. I'm telling Sandra. And Sandra, Raymond's being bad. Just saying. Sandra says C. I thought it was a decent episode. There were issues, but seeing the opposite side of their personalities was interesting. It also possibly made them face their own hidden negative qualities. Well, you know, Sandra, I fully admit that my love for Mira clouds my judgment on this one. So just touching Mira, I hate. But even though it is true, I'm with you that seeing some of the alternate versions of them is fine. The ultimate sin that cannot be forgiven in my eyes is blaming Spock for the ruination of an entire friggin' universe.
And
I
not
hate
just
him.
in a passing comment, but like a full conversation
Oh,
about
it was all Spock's fault. Everything. I hate it. It makes me sick. Fun from Outsider says D for dope. Kira on Kira action? Is that supposed to make a mirror Kira evil or just a weirdo? I'd say weirdo. She's evil, but she's a weirdo. She's a psycho, too.
I love that comment. That's a great
But that's
comment.
a good one, Phantom. Yeah. This Kira is a psycho. Maybe Mira Kira thinks she's the only one she can trust. Mira Spock failing. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, God. In every revolution, Mr. Spock, there's one man with a vision. Be the captain of this enterprise. You can protect yourself better than any man in the fleet. In my cabin, there's a device that will make you invincible. Indeed. Sorry. Oh, man. It makes me want to watch Mirror again and piss on this stupid episode. The Terran Empire was vicious, and humans can be more vicious than anyone. And we were supposed to believe they were easily conquered. That's another good point, Phantom.
Mhm.
This is sci-fi, but not in a good way. Yes, sir.
Fanty. Those are some good
Nice.
reviews, Fanty.
Nice, Fanty. Dear Axamander Bear says, B. This was an all right episode. Avery was bad, but it was his first attempt. Nana was a little too comfortable in the role. Not the best Mira clone storyline ever. Badly thought out. Thank you, Narat. And Papa Delta Yankee says, I give this one a B. But I also like multiverse stuff, as you know. So Mira Kira was entertaining, and you can tell Nana loved the role, so it was fun all around for me. Thank you, Papa Delta Yankee. And now, number one, we have Jill and Edie, if you would like to do the honors.
Yes, but I am going to put this up first because he's a man of few words and it's not a review, but I love it when Rob Altus says something and he says, so they want to use a mirror universe to get with themselves.
Yes. Well, yeah. Basically, yes, sir. That's
Yes.
but basically the way it is.
Okay. Hi, Jill. How's it going, sweetheart? She's got a 3-parter here. She gives this episode a C-. She says, attempts at character development for Bashir is forgotten. He reverts to his season 1 characterization of being oblivious as to how to read a room. I know, it's like he's emotionally stunted. Luckily, a nonsensical anomaly interrupts.
I see what you did there, Classic Comics. Good one.
2 of 3. I enjoyed the nature versus nurture flipping of the character traits, but it's difficult to believe Spock would be so naive to have disarmed enough to allow for defeat, even if he went for peace. Yeah, I don't believe that either. I think that's a big hunk of. And 3 of 3 from our wonderful communications officer. She says, I did like that O'Brien's personality is exactly the same in the mirror universe as the original, showing how purely decent his soul is, even in the darkest of situations. What
Yes.
a beautiful thing to say. I love that, Jill. And I agree. And you are beautiful.
Thank you, Jill.
Great. Now we have Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. Obviously going to drop a mic on this one again. He's got a 2-parter. He gives this sucker a C-. He says, Nana Visitor's alluring beauty is incredibly seductive. This episode was a bit of a side excursion without any particular relevance to the broader DS9 or Star Trek or the Star Trek anthology. Garrick invokes Twitter. She's all the Twitter about you. I thought the same thing. In the context of Kira being in love with herself. Oh, the sweet irony. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was those were wonderful reviews. Thank you, Jill. And thank you, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
And we've got our chief engineer has popped in and has a review. He says, D for how dare desecrate Spock and Kirk.
Yeah.
This should not have been written to blame everything on our hero. Spock would never be a failure. Thank you, buddy. That is true engineering greatness there, because it absolutely makes me sick. Parts of the episode are interesting, but they should have just gone to another alternate universe. That's a fair cop.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best lines in Trek, Kirk, in every revolution, there's one man with a vision. Spock, Captain Kirk, I shall consider it, and then I will destroy the entire empire and turn into every humans and Vulcans into a bunch of worthless weasels with no rights. Yay, me.
Yeah, and like Jill said, like him not being able to, figure out what the plan would be and to disarm at such a rapid pace that they were left defenseless. I don't think so.
Hungry boy, buddy. He says, okay, maybe my adoration for not outweighed Clobby's adoration for Mirror here. Hey, buddy, stand your ground. Like what you got to like, man. I'm just busting your chops, brother. And perfectly, man, we love you, man. So thank you so much. Are we ready to drop this stink bomb to go to the next episode?
We are.
All right. Well, here we go. Our next episode is The Collaborator. And if you will let me go run off to take a piece of medicine or something and get me some water, because I need water, man.
Okay, go
take
ahead.
the con number 1. I shall return in momentarily, Lily.
Okay. All right. So the colonoscopy is season 2, episode 24. And if you're finding it hard to locate because the numbers are all over the place, this is prod code 444. We all watched this, unfortunately, for the very first time on May 23rd, 1994. I'm going to be reading the plot synopsis of this episode from Wikipedia. I'm going to be doing it extemporaneously. That means cold read, which means I might make mistakes. Please forgive me. The Bajorans are about to select a new Kai, the supreme religious leader of all of Bajor, after the loss of the popular and respected previous Kai Opaka. Major Kira hopes to see Vedic Baral become the new Kai, but he is running against a formidable opponent, Vedic Win. Kira has recently started a romance with Baral. She loathes Vedic Wynn, both personally and politically, and has a strong suspicion that Wynn is responsible for a recent assassination attempt on Baral. Meanwhile, Security Chief Odo has arrested a Bajoran man called Cubas Oak, who was exiled for collaborating with the Cardassians during their occupation of Bajor. Vedic Wynn offers Cubas sanctuary in exchange for information about a massacre that the Cardassians committed during the occupation. The massacre claimed the lives of 43 Bajoran rebels, including Opaka's own son. Cubas claims that it was Baral who tipped off the Cardassians to the rebels' location. Wynn is eager to find proof. She gloats to Kira that she is about to ruin Baral's chances of becoming Kai and manipulates her into volunteering to investigate the case. The crew analyzes some records and finds evidence that does indicate that Baral was responsible. In disbelief, Kira confronts him. He admits to having provided the Cardassians with the location of the rebels. He explains that if he had not, the Cardassians would have destroyed village after village until they were certain they had wiped out the rebels. Baral gave them the information to save thousands of villagers at the cost of 43. Kira is crushed. Soon after, she hears that Baral has withdrawn his candidacy for Kai, clearing the way for Wynn to take the post. With further investigation, Kira makes another confusing discovery, proof that Baral was not the source of the information. He was covering up for someone else. When she asks him about it, he admits to her that it was the revered Kai Opaka who had been the collaborator. She had sacrificed the rebels, including her son, to save the villagers. Baral covered for her because the Bajorans need to believe in her during this painful time in their history. While Kira is hardly convinced that those sentiments are worth the price of allowing Wynn to become Kai, Baral says that it will be up to them to influence her towards something positive. And that is all the collective internet has to say about the colonoscopy. So, boss, what'd you think of the episode?
Well, first, I'll say good night to our good buddy JD Lewis. JD, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Good night, JD.
Have a great one. Feel well and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Look, I'm not angry about it or anything. It just shows kind of boring. Personally, it's one of those soap opera episodes with Bajoran politics that kind of make me a little sleepy. Maybe this is me. Not a big fan of Vedic, now Kai Wynn. Lovely, wonderful actress who unfortunately passed away last week. Her performance was really good. I mean, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, and it's a good performance, no question about it. We got a Kira episode, so I'm happy for Hungry Boy there.
Mm-hmm.
Or mostly Kira episode. I thought that confrontation between Kai Wynn and Kira was pretty out there. And he showed her how, Vedic Wynn at the time. And yeah, I don't know. Just don't have a whole lot to say about the episode. I just found it to be kind of I guess it's okay drama. I just don't really care that much. Good night, Raymond.
Good night, Raymond. Hey, Diesel's here.
And
Hi,
Sandra.
Diesel.
Yeah, good to have you both here.
Yes. Good night, Felicianos.
Yep, have a good one. And hello there, Diesel. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. So, yeah, overall, I don't have a lot to say about it. I just didn't find it particularly compelling. It's just not my kind of episode, which, unfortunately, we get a good bit of this stuff on this show. The Bajoran stuff does not interest me much at all. So that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely identify with that. I don't have any notes for this episode. I just wrote as my notes. I have nothing to say about this romantic episode about religious powerball. It's just more face sucking and attacking the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
As a theocracy. There is nothing here for me, and that's all I put.
There you go. Again, it's not a whole lot to say about it. If this episode's kind of cup of tea, certainly, laudable performances. As a drama, if that's your thing, it's well done. But it's just not my bag, baby, as the kids say. So, pretty quick work we make of this one.
Yep.
What is your rating of the collaborator?
The colonoscopy gets a D from me, boss.
Gotcha. I too give it a D.
Yep.
I too give it a, just because it's just not what I sign up for. You know, if you're not going to be science fiction, at least be really compelling stuff like the Wire episode, for example, or something like that. If you're going to be something that's intrigue or whatever, be interesting. Be something like that. This episode's filled with boring flashbacks and visits to the orb by Barile or whatever. So,
yep.
Yeah, you know. Anyway,
like a weird acid trip, you know, and you're trying to connect the dots, and you're wondering, if the wormhole aliens don't understand linear time, why they would, give them visions to begin with, and so it just opens up.
I don't understand any of that.
You know what I mean? Like it's actually doing more harm than good, and I don't enjoy the closed mouth necking between Kira and Barile. I don't enjoy that. It's two people that clearly have their mouths closed, and yet they're pretending like they're sucking each other's faces, and then the rest of it is just crap talking the Catholic Church and trying to make it seem, I don't know, like it's not.
Yes.
It's weird. It's just weird, and it's not science fiction. It's just too far for me. Too weird.
Not science fiction, not really particularly compelling drama either. Or just not, just nothing really I care for.
Agreed.
The show gets bogged down way too much in the Bajoran stuff. But I guess, look, its very premise being based at Bajor was going to, unfortunately, bring some of that. But anyway, so my friends, please give us your rating.
Yes,
of the
fire at will,
and any words you may have about it, and we will read them. And we've never made this good time in a long time. Diesel,
you're also amazing, and we love you. And I'm so glad to have you here. And I love that Rob Altus called this episode weird. It's weird.
So number one, we'll star those, and we'll get them. Hey, we got plenty of time. Look at the time we've made.
Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you're not reading, Carrie. Terry's like, Carrie talks way too much about the episodes. Like, way too much.
He does. Yeah. Plus, when it's one like this, it's just...
Yeah, just get it over with. I don't know if
anyone has anything to say about it. It's like, it's...
Everyone's
whatever,
like,
dude. Even when it's one you hate, you have a lot to say about it, but...
Oh boy, it's like we've gone to the strip club. It's all D's.
Sorry, everybody. This episode made me need something, so I was drinking some chocolate milk.
I love chocolate milk.
Boy, it's good. Well, I needed that after thinking about this episode. This was almost as tough to stay awake during as Andor. And that was tough.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. Hungry for a date with Kira. Oh, I'm sorry, I got his name wrong. Hungry for, you guessed it, more Kira episodes. Says D-. Will we find out who shot J.R. Ewing in this episode of Deep Dallas Space Nine? Did a writer from Dynasty sneak aboard the station? They used to do that on TNG all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well. More Kira, so silver linings. That's a fair cop. You did get a little bit of Kira, so there you go. But you had to see her with another man, damn it. Phantom Outsider says... D. Dumb. Why can't Kira borrow a move from Commander Susan Ivanova? I love her. And space. In space, he wants to space win. Yeah, space the accidentally.
I love Susan Ivanova.
Oh yeah, she's a great character. As Wynn and Space Wynn accidentally as Wynn and visiting Wesley Crusher are passing an airlock, that would be the bestest episode ever. I concur, Fanty.
Hey, when did Alaric Harrison get here?
Just now, apparently, because I didn't know that. Alaric Harrison, hello there. It is good to see you.
Nirot, we don't call it that here. We call it she-hump.
She. What do you say? She Hulk.
It's
Yeah.
she-hump.
Yes,
She-hump. We hump,
that's a
they
good
hump.
one.
I hump, you hump, they hump.
She hump. That's a good thing for it. She twerk and hump. So D- for JT Kirk. He said, if I remember right, Days of Our Lives was more interesting the day this episode originally aired. I can believe it. As the station turns.
Yeah.
Wolfie says rating B-. I thought the sacrifice to save the villagers was a very noble Star Trek thing to do. When is everyone going to learn the Kardashians suck? I love when he calls them the Kardashians.
Yeah, me too.
Oh dear. Eric K says D-, another blah. Some of these make you wonder why you're still watching this show. It's it's not like for me anyway, it's not like TNG where it's like gigantic loads of bad ones and an occasional decent one. There's some really good ones, but they kind of do mix in with some poople doop. So
oh no.
Pleasant Valley Picker says F. Damn, another episode when Kira does not get naked. Well, yeah, isn't that every episode that she doesn't get naked? Just saying. Be entertaining if she was not clothed, but she has clothes on. Wow.
What?
Are you a Ferengi?
I think you need to take a cold shower, honey.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I can remember now, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. There's not one episode where she does not have clothing. If there's an episode out there floating around of DS9 where Kira's not clothed, I want to know about it. I'm just saying.
He's talking about her being in the bathtub.
No,
in the mirror universe.
But he said clothes. Oh well. Yeah, but we don't know. She was not. She was wearing something in that. She was wearing a swimsuit. She wasn't totally naked. Come on now. You filthy pervert. You perverbidert, you. All right, C+. Pleasant, what am I going to do with you, man? How dare you, sir? You're so nasty. C+. C+ is Neuron the next Amanda Bear. Also not my bag with all this drama, but I kind of like to hate when. So that gives this episode a bonus. What a great and hate-worthy character. I'll let this one pass barely. I'll give you that because she's a fine actress. Nurse Ratched, Vedic Ratched now Kai Ratched is a she's a good actress. And there's that scene when she threatens Kira. I'm like, oh, whoa! She finally shows her real colors. But man, Papa Delta Yankee says A, top-notch world-building episode. A battle of wit, and as I recall, not a single phaser is fired. I would have to, if I'd say yes, probably not. You might be pretty sure you're correct on that one, Papa. Not one phaser was discharged in the.
But lots of child was discharged. Child. So come here.
Discharged, but not that.
Don't call me child.
Oh, when she says child, it's like it's like nails on the chalkboard,
right?
D for Chris Persia says non-compelling drama with little intrigue. The only saving grace was Barial sacrificing his ascension to Kai for the sake of the memory of Kai Opak. Yeah, I mean that was interesting as well. I'm with you, but didn't really, didn't have a lot of impact on me because I'm sticking like needles in myself just to stay awake, like pins in my eyes and stuff. However, that is wasted by the fact that Kira wasn't willing to do her due diligence in order to avoid the disaster of when becoming the new Kai.
Yeah. It's the leveraging Kai Opaka's reputation over the possibly, putting Bajor into a position of brutal theocracy. It just, it doesn't make sense.
Indeed. Chris says, how could you, Raquel? I can never listen to Cyndi Lauper in the same way anymore. there was the implied nudity, but it was underneath the bed sheets between her and Baral. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know, I get it. I was just being silly with a picture there. Alaric Harrison says, very convincing performances by the cast. This episode is a good foundational episode for the series characters that develops and through the entire series. I don't dispute that, Alaric. It's just something that me personally, I don't like all the Bajaran stuff. And if you do, then this is the episode for you because it does deal with that sort of thing. So I can definitely see where you're coming from. It's just, it doesn't do a thing for me. But, if the Bajaran politics and all that stuff is something that you are into, then yes, it's a crucial episode for that. Now we have Jill. I don't know about ED, but we do have Jill if you'd like to read hers.
Okay.
ED is still with us, maybe, or did something happen? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Anti-derivative Jill has got a two-parter, though, and she gives this episode an F. She says, Baral sacrifices his own reputation to protect the legendary work of Kai Opaka, but I wonder if it wasn't worth it to have fought a little harder to prevent the evil Kai Win from winning. Yeah, especially because, she wants theocracy.
Yeah.
2 out of 2. I've had watch parties for these episodes all season, and this was the first time all of my guests vanished before the episode ended. Louise Fletcher's a fantastic actress, but this one dragged.
Wow. Okay. I hear you.
That's cool feedback, too.
My goodness. Good. Yeah. So I didn't watch party and no one even, well, yeah, I understand that for sure, Jill.
Did you see this?
Prophet was said 16 times. Child was said 14. You counted them.
Right.
Prophet or prophets?
Now you know why I was punching my fist when,
I said child.
Like,
was it prophets or prophet?
I don't know.
She might mean prophets. I think prophets. But either way, yeah, it's boy, the child thing really gets on me after a while.
The child thing needs to end.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Baral is a Vedic, and he doesn't call everybody child every 5 friggin' seconds. Hello there, Comic Relief Crusader. Welcome. He says C-. Just because I got here now and wanted to give a grade, hail all. Well, thank you for giving the grade. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the child thing is so
Sorry.
What?
Kirk, don't make me do that. I hate ugly laughing on air.
What do you do?
Look
at You counted, oh, bless you, child. Well, JT Kirk, you really ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Your agonizer, please.
Oh, my goodness. So, I don't think we have ED here with us anymore because I'm sure he would have something to say about this episode. But
where did he go?
I don't know. Maybe he may have had an internet problem. Enigmatic Dropbear, you there, buddy? Because he just must have something. He wouldn't dump out for no reason. Alaric has another one though.
Part 2.
Part 2. A very good in establishing the characters' relationships and motivations behind their characters and how that affects their relationships with the other characters in the series. Okay, excellent. And it does do that. Yeah. Look, all the performances are fine. Yeah, I mean, so I hear you there, Alaric, and thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Chris Persia says at least Vedic Wing wasn't saying, aren't you special?
Yeah, he was the church lady. I get you.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly the feeling you get from it. And I don't even have a dog in that fight. Everyone here already knows, but if you're new around here, I'm agnostic. I don't have a dog in the fight where I'm a devout Catholic and I'm offended. It's just I'm agnostic, and so that whole situation, I just didn't like it because I just don't like it. I mean, it's not enjoyable to watch.
Mark D with the C says C+. Politics and religion in space is not my bag. The twist of Baral covering for Kai Opaka was interesting, sacrificing 43 villagers to save many more, including her son, was tragic. Despite good performances, I'd rather have sci-fi episodes. Unfortunately, politics are an integral part of deep space, of DS9, part of the DS9 series. Yes, but if I can't have science fiction, I still like the compelling drama, like for example, there are a couple different types. The intrigue, like we got with The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
So intrigue episodes that aren't Bajoran politics, I'm fine with. Episodes that are more adventurous or dealing with things going on, like there are a lot of good stuff with the Dominion War and the Jem'Hadar, which is coming up next week. Different things like that. So there are definitely things that, even if they're not fully science fiction, that are very great. And it's why we like the show. Great stuff. It's just that personally for me, unless you're doing something awful like trashing a great episode like Mirror Mirror, just doing something ridiculously stupid, all the other stuff I'm fine with. They do a lot of great character episodes. They do a lot of great intrigue episodes and action and adventure episodes that deal heavily with the characters that are very well done, which is with the strength of the show. The one weakness for the show for me is the Bajoran stuff and the religion stuff, because even though I'm not religious myself, I'm not someone who hates or wants to deride a religious people, whereas these people who make this show clearly have disdain for religious people. Doesn't.
And do you remember when I read to you
ED, by the way?
Do you remember what I read to you about what Gene Roddenberry said about that, where he just said that he did not want that, and that he actually got into a huge fight with Michael Piller about it. He just said, like, I don't want us making fun of religion. So, and that's in that article which I showed you folks, and there are receipts out there, and I can provide them again if you'd like. But he 100%, Gene Roddenberry, he had like I believe it was like either 4 days or like a week. It was spread out, a very long interview with Humanist Magazine right before he died, and he spoke directly with Humanist Magazine and openly said in the magazine that he fought with Michael Piller, bitterly fought with Michael Piller over the fact that he did not want to be making fun of religion. He did not want to bring religion in it and start admonishing people, telling people what to think or what to believe. He did not want to do that with the show. So I just, this one, the colonoscopy is out of bounds for me. So let's get to ED.
ED right there.
Hello, my wonderful friend, enigmatic drop bear, the erudite bear. He's got a two-parter here. He gives us one a C+. He says, this episode does a very good job of depicting Wynn as a canny political operator. Her agility incorporating Kira's predilections into her designs illustrated her shrewdness. Well, she's shrewd, all right. And then 2. I didn't buy Kyle Puck as apparent compromise. This undermined the story's basic premise, therefore wins and Barile's tactics. Yes, that's a lot of dumb. Just a lot of dumb.
Yeah, yep. So, what can you do?
That's right.
Yeah. So there we go. We got it. Man, we did this in record time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Which
is good to make good time sometimes. You know, we got here, folks, is a look at next week's itinerary for the show, because next week we'll be ending season 2. Yay! We have Tribunal and the Jem'Hadar.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk about we'll do our best episodes of the season, our worst episodes. And Mark D, I know you're busy, probably where you can't do it, but you do have a link in case if you want one, just to come and visit. But like I said, you're probably way out there having too much fun, so don't let us stop you. But just always put that out there just in case. So, and next week, of course, we'll have like a big season wrap party for season 2. So.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, there's going to be some miles going on in that one. Oh my goodness. I feel an miles attack for next week.
Eric, Chris, Hungry Boy, and I. Oh, Deadman Clan!
Deadman! Good to see you, buddy.
We're going to be pressing mute so much next week. It's just going to be a big mute fest.
Yes, it's going to be some oh my goodness, it's going to be some miles. Or maybe I should say there's going to be some.
Oh.
Well, maybe I should say there's going to be some.
Crap. Miles.
crap,
Oh,
crap,
Miles.
crap,
Oh, Miles.
crap.
Oh, Miles. I would
Maybe
just like to say, for the record, that I did not provide that audio to Mark. Mark clipped that. Okay? Mark clipped that from our show. Did not provide that to him.
No, he's a troublemaker. Is what he is.
That to him.
He's a rapscallion troublemaker of that one.
Love that you just called him a rapscallion.
Just popped in there. I don't know what happened. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Well, we'll see. We got again. Hey, look, we got done quick, everybody. And I guess now all there is to do is to just make fun of the crossover some more. Just kidding. I don't know. Oh my goodness. You like that, huh, Pleasant Valley? Oh, Miles.
Rob Altus, you're not helping.
Sometimes it's the simple. What do you say? Oh,
nothing. Just Rob is joining in.
No, yeah. Look, this I'm on to you people. when sometimes you try to trick us into saying "oh Miles" again, and you try to make us do stuff like it's totally uncalled for and unprofessional, I think. And I won't have such tomfoolery around here.
Chris Berger has laid down some serious rock shin kicks. He's given shin kicks from the Rock. For the misappropriation of a statement. I love you, Chris.
Damn it. He is evil. He's got that famous clip of me playing Fortnite. Yes, that's my favorite one. Oh, shite.
Hot buttered garbage.
Hey, don't think anything of it, ED. Which is apologies, folks. I didn't properly prepare a review for that last one. I wanted to spend more time digging into the Kendra Valley massacre, but ran out of time. Oh, no problem, sir. You did wonderful as always. You're good, man. Thank you so much, ED. We appreciate that.
Rob Altus just deployed shin kicks and a rover. So he kicked, then killed. Kicked and killed.
You are number 6. What was that? That would be telling. Yeah, we don't know a rover.
I am not a number. I am a free man. Alark Harrison says Star Trek fans should understand about DS9 is that they deliberately chose to have it on a station to allow more episodic format to have more developed and relationships and more complex characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fair cop. To boldly stay where no one has stayed before.
That's right. Oh,
my goodness, Cardinal, saying you're too kind, brother. What you got there? Says, Hail Clobberin Times and Raquel. Please shout out my midnight movies all through October, starting tonight. Oh my goodness, Midnight Central. Love you all. Love you back, buddy. What can we know the movie, or is it a secret?
I think he's going to be doing a Halloween theme.
Are you going to be like, now what are you doing, Cardi? Are you going to review a movie, or are you going to do a watch party? What's the deal?
Yeah. Well, what can we tell people?
And tell us the movie if we're allowed to know, unless it's a secret, of course.
Yeah.
And that's everyone, by the way, if we could get Cardinals, there's a link to his great channel in my description below. But if anyone can if one of our good friends can maybe put that link in there, and so the people can go, if you haven't already subscribed to Cardi's channel, it's a secret watch party. Oh, it's a secret.
Oh.
Well, if it's a secret? They just go to your channel and they find out? How do they do this?
Yeah. I think it has a theme, though.
Go to his channel and they have a link. Got you covered.
Yeah, and it's going to be themed. I believe.
Well, it's Halloween, of course, yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's also been asking folks like, hey, do you stay up late or do you get off work late and you just want to sit around watching cool movies together? Let's throw together a time that works for all of us and we can all watch movies together. So that's the idea behind it. So I think sometimes the theme will shift. But I'm not sure. It's kind of like an evolving thing. And he's really speaking to the audience and saying, hey, like, what do you want to watch together? Let's watch something cool together. So that's the idea behind the show. And I hope everyone will support Cardinal.
And Jill. Well, Jill and Eric K have got the YouTube channel link to or the link to Cardi's channel, and it's about a half hour, and we'll be done by then. We'll be off the, and he will be. I urge you all, if you want to go ahead and if you have the time, if you can, please go over to his channel and see what's going on over there. See what movie he's got going on over there.
Yeah.
So, that'd be great. Absolutely, it's just. Well,
kind of reminds me of when I was young, and you would walk by the movie theater, and you would have to look at the poster, or you would have to look up the marquee, and you'd have to say, "Oh, so what's on? What's going on here?" And you would look up at the letters. You say, "Ah, that's the movie they're showing. Yep. That's the movie they're showing."
Yep. As long as it's not filth or anything, as long as it's not like Jar Jar Abrams' Star Trek or something.
Ew.
Because we'd have to tell on him for there. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Cardi wouldn't watch that. Well, he might, but he wouldn't show it on a watch party. No Corman movies either. How about Battle Beyond the Stars? I love that one.
Yeah, I love Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah, I love it. So send them cheesy movies, the worst we can find. La la.
Well, those are Chessy movies. So what? He didn't spell it cheesy. He spelled it Chessy. So
that was singing a line from the Mystery Science Theater 2000 theme song.
Oh, no, it's just Pleasant Valley Pecker says, "I love the idea of Chessy movies."
Oh, he did write Chessy. Well, I didn't see that, but no, there's a line in the line, one of the lines in the MST3K theme song is, "We send him cheesy movies, the worst we can find." Of course, they're all public domain, so we can't get sued. And you would be surprised because they did the show for like 16, 17 years, whatever it was. And that means there are a lot of movies that are public domain.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because they couldn't do anything there. And I remember, I wish our buddy J-Man was here, because I remember they asked Joel Hodgson once, is there a movie that's not public domain? In other words, a big, relatively bigger Hollywood movie he would like to trash with. And he said Highlander 2 would be the first one out of his first answer he gave.
You just poking the bear.
Our buddy like J-Man, and J-Man's not here, but
just poking the bear.
Man, Cloudy, first Beavis and Butthead, now MST3K. That's hardcore good. Oh yeah, I love Beavis and Butthead, and I love MST3K. Man, I miss MST3K. Every now and then I just I go on YouTube and watch like excerpts from it. People put excerpts of stuff. It was just, that was comfort food for the soul back then. If you just flip in channels, the best was on back in the 90s. There would be like on Thanksgiving Day in between football. They would have like a 30-hour marathon of MST3K. It was called Turkey Day. Yeah, I just love that. Now they still do that, but it's on some website. That's exactly right, Rob Aldis. There is no Highlander 2. I told that to J-Man when J-Man posted a picture of himself with that poster for Highlander 2. That's our buddy right there. We love J-Man. So, all right, folks. Well, I guess we'll just do a little show note, and then we'll get out of here. What do you say? Number one, we'll let everybody off early tonight?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, okay. We got our job done, and nobody got hurt except for Hungry Boy, and I feel bad I hurt him.
He's not hurt. He's fine. He's tough.
I'm sorry I hurt you, Hungry Boy. I love you. Riff Tracks is not. Yeah, I love Riff Tracks also. Dad Man, for maybe 10, 12 years ago, Riff Tracks started doing what they called Riff Tracks Live. It was a Fathom event where they would do it from a theater and they would broadcast it live to theaters. And my son and I used to go, didn't miss them for years. Used to love going to the Riff Tracks Live events. I just love those guys. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, show notes. Any show notes for you, number one, by the way? Oh no, you got
just the fact that I am currently looking at the food pictures that Eric K sent me. This is ridiculous. This looks so delicious. I can't even deal with it. And look at this pork breakfast sausage. He made 16 pounds of pork breakfast sausage. And he has beautiful ribs here. Oh, so yummy.
Cappuccino, Captain Shay.
Yay, see.
What is up?
Gypsy!
Yep, good to see you. I hope you were well. He said, what did he say? He said, pardon my interruption, number one, but are you telling me that you are not in your 30s?
No.
She's in her 20s, because that is how young your voice sounds and how fit you look. Of course. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. But no, I won't give out my exact birthday because it's not safe to do that on the internet. Because in Canada, it's one of the ways that that you clear different security measures with banks and the government and stuff.
Sure.
So I will never give my exact age or birth date out on the internet. But I'm around a half a century old.
She's actually a Time Lord, so she's 934. And but she's only on her first regeneration. That's amazing. Usually by that age, Time Lords have regenerated 7, 8, 9 times, But
just genes. It's nothing special. I don't use Facetune. I don't mess around with lying to people or trying to mislead them or catfish them or anything like that. It's really just genes. My mother was the same way. I believe one time my mother got ID'd in a bar when she was like 52. They're like, "Can we see some ID?" It's just genetic. I don't do anything special. I didn't get any work done. I don't mess around with the software trying to catfish people or lie to people. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just lucky genes. Just lucky.
Indeed. Dad, man, you'll have to tell me that story about Riff Tracks Live next time we're on the Geekery or something. So, all right. So that's, my show note basically is Monday night, I will have 2 shows instead of the traditional one. I'm going to, at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 on the East Coast, the great J-Man shall be joining me for a Clubby's Classic Comics review special. DC Comics presents number 29, written by the late, great Len Wein and art by Jim Starlin and Romeo Tangal. It's a classic and kicking off Halloween comics, superheroes, supernatural superheroes in the supernatural. I'll think of something. Anyway, that'll be fun. And then, of course, the regular time slot, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for Mark's Magica. Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk for that. And, of course, tomorrow night, I'm not sure, but I think the great Demonic D with a C will be having the Sunday Night Geekery. We'll just go ahead and say he is, just in case. That'll be, of course, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I think, 10 Eastern for the Geekery, I do believe. So, he'll let us know if that's anything changes on that. So those are our show notes. How about we start saying our goodbyes to our wonderful friends?
Let's do it.
Of course, our great friend Lord Thoth did pop in at the beginning of the show. He can't make it, but Thoth, if you do happen to be hearing this or whatever, we love you, brother, and I hope you and Mrs. Thoth are doing well, and I hope that whatever's going on, you're getting that taken care of, and things are going well for you. Be careful and be safe out there. Big shout out to all of our lurkers. Thank you so much, people who lurk, our good friends, and our friends who maybe listen later on a download or a rewatch. Our good buddy Eric O'Sullivan, and others. And we appreciate you so much. We really do.
Look at this. Look at this wonderful human being.
And we'll start out our shout outs to one of our favorite lurkers of them all, who we know of, because we don't know all our lurkers, but we do know this one. He's a great friend, Terrell, 72. Always fantastic to have you here, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Hope we made work go by a little bit quicker for you. We love you, Tyrell, and thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you had a great night at work.
Yes.
And have a great week. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Indeed. Be good, my friend. Take care. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, the great Mark D with a C was on an away mission, but I know he's hearing us out there. I hope you're behaving yourself and having a good time, brother. Hope to hang out with you tomorrow night on the Geekery if it's going on. So there we go. Our wonderful communications officer, Derivative Jill. Love you, Jill. Great to see you.
Thank you for all of your help tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your beautiful comments, your wonderful conversation. Good night, Joe.
big shout outs to our fantastic wrenches and great friends, the Bronze Wrencher, the great Eric K, and the Vindicator himself, Chris Persia. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for all you do, buddies. A shout out to Michael Beacom, who had some issues and couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's
but yes, but if you were able to listen, Michael, I hope you and Cassandra are having a wonderful weekend and I hope you're able to get everything sorted out. I also wanted to give a special shout out to our good old buddy Max Redstone in the event that he is able to hear this somehow. I don't know if he is, but he had something happen where he couldn't make it either. It was a technical issue similar, I guess, to Michael's in a sense, I think. But Max, appreciate you, brother. Sorry about that.
And the Beacons, Cassandra and Michael, we missed you. And Maximum Redstone, we sure miss you, sweetheart. So, to the Beacons and to Maximum Redstone.
Yes, indeed.
We love you guys, and you were missed tonight.
And thank you for all your contributions and for coming and visiting. As always, Cardinal Sin, brother, we appreciate you. Everyone, please go at the Cardinal Sin's channel. He's got the big the watch party going on tonight on his channel in about just a little under 20 minutes now, or at the top of the hour. It is at 12 Central Standard Time. Shooter was here, couldn't make it either. Another one who he stopped by. He was so nice of him to stop by. He didn't have to do that, but he stopped by to tell us he was not necessarily able to hang with us. But I don't know if he's hearing this or not. But Shooter, we appreciate you.
You just pew pew pew.
Indeed. Brian Hepburn, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We appreciate you.
Brian. Have a good week.
The Catman, aka Dee Dee Myers, and his wonderful wife. Thank you so much.
And Mrs. Myers. Good night, wonderful people.
Indeed. Nerad and Amanda Bear, thank you for being here. Always great to have you.
You were fun and naughty tonight, just stirring up all sorts of trouble. You were fantastic. Have a great week.
Absolutely. And of course, he's the greatest artist of all time, and the greatest Clobber Times artist of all time, too. Hungry for, you guessed it, more Kira episodes. Hungry boy, we love you, brother.
Love you, Hungry boy.
Yes, indeed.
Boss.
Pop in. Rod
Thunderheart.
Rod Thunderheart, what is up? Makima Same.
Yeah, good to see you.
All right, buddy. Rod Thunderheart, always a pleasure, man. Honor to have you pop in, sir. Good to see you. Let's see here. Where were I? Phantom Outsider.
Was a man.
Awesome, man. Fanty, thanks for being here, bud.
Great conversation tonight. Thank you so much.
Always appreciate you, brother. Maddie Zaddy, aka the great Steve Mitchum, was out there.
Yes, Maddie's whole great, face for us, and I hope you made it home safely, honey.
Indeed. Our old pal Captain Infinity popped in. Yay, Cap. Yay. Always good to see you, Cap. The great JT Kerr.
Who got himself into a whole mess of trouble. He was stirring up trouble. He was a class clown tonight, too. He was terrific. We love you, JT Kirk. Good night, honey.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna defend JT Kirk right now. Our great buddy ED, Enigmatic Drop Bear. Thank you so much, my friend.
The Erudite Bear. Great conversation tonight. Wonderful reviews. I love them. Thank you so much, and have a great week.
Wolfie. Thanks for all you do, buddy. Appreciate you.
Oh, and cool trivia tonight, and actual reliable trivia. I loved all the stuff that you were teaching us about the ships and their firepower and everything else. Your expertise is so valued around here. I love you, you big nerd. You're the best. And having those facts and making it technical and interesting just enhances this show immensely. So I love you, Wolfie. Thank you.
Thank you, Wolfie. Appreciate you, man. JD Lewis had to run, but our good buddy. Appreciate JD Lewis.
Have a good week, JD.
Indeed. Hey, Classic Comics. Always good to see you here, my friend. You take care, buddy.
Yep. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Pleasant Valley Picker. Good to see you. Hope you have a good night, PC. Mr. Tickle Trunk was here. Hey, I think he had to run, but shout out to the great. You get shouted out whether you be here or not. Good. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Sweetheart of a man. And he there's absolutely no way that he could be here. And yet he went out of his way to come into the chat to give us a shout out. We love you, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Wendy and Jimmy Trauma Warriors. Hey, thank you so much for being here.
Good night.
Claude Selling. Claude Solling. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm so sorry, but thank you for being here tonight.
Good night, friend.
The Felicianos, Raymond and Sandra, our friends, they had to run, but shout out to them as well.
Wow, and I hope that everything's okay with the kitchen.
Someone I was not quite sure if I'm familiar with or not, LDG, hashtag free the net, but thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for joining us.
Our wonderful friend, Paul Mies Minion.
And the pepperoni.
Rob Aldis, the superhero.
Yay, Rob Aldis!
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you.
Dalek 451. Happy birthday, by the way. Glad you stopped in, even though it was momentarily.
Night, Dalek.
We like it when people just, even if you can't stay, you come and say hi. We like that. We really appreciate it.
Enigmatic Drop Bear is stirring up trouble. Look at what he did in the chat.
Well, look, Enigmatic Drop Bear, you're not gonna trick me into doing this again. I'm sorry. Trick me, buddy. Let's see here. Snail Messiah, I don't know if you're still hearing this, but we're sorry about what things happened with you tonight.
Horrible.
It's a horrible thing to happen to you, but just understand it can happen to anybody.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, Jill, I did not know that about LDG, but thanks to LAGD. If he's not here, LGD, thank him for stopping in for us and tell him we appreciated it.
It was cool that he stopped in. And we called it the Comic Relief Crusader, right?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay,
Snail. Snail again. Just know that it's no consolation, but that can happen to anybody. So sorry though.
Yeah, it's an awful thing, and I think it really shook him up. So,
well, it's hard to blame him, Yeah. But yes, Comic Relief Crusader, thank you for being here. Papa Delta Yankee, my friend, thank you for stopping by. Always a pleasure. Oh, there's Snail right there.
Oh, honey, yeah. What the captain said, yeah, it's not your fault. And I know it's really traumatizing, probably going to be with you for a couple of days. I'm so sorry. It's a terrible, terrible thing, but beyond your control, and nothing you could do about that.
Man. It happens, man. And it's happened to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Diesel popped in there. Good old buddy Diesel, who's always at Nick's comic shop as well.
Yeah, I love Diesel. He's a sweetheart of a human.
Indeed, Diesel. Good to see you. Alaric Harrison, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Alaric.
Appreciate
Great comments.
And our Dad Man and the Dead Man clan, we're here. Great to see you, my friends. And of course, Cavatino Shea popped in as well. Thank you.
Triple C.
And I think that's about everybody. We appreciate, again, anyone who was, hopefully, I don't think we missed anyone, but we appreciate everyone who was here. If just whether you're, again, out there on, I used to say it out there on the feeds when I was on the old show, but this is a different type of listening. But however you're out there listening and watching, thank you so much. We appreciate everyone. Again, everyone, here are your episodes for next week. They're called. My goodness, I hit the wrong button. How could that happen? The Tribunal and the Shemadar. So, and then we will talk a little bit about it. We'll look back at season 2. So, thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you being here with us tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and keep on trekking, my friends.
It's clobbering time!
Clobbering, come to clobbering, don't you for clobbering, then proceed, clobbering. If you proceed, clobbering, you'll come with me.
I just love clobbering time.